posted in the 30 with this 30, trying to leave them brainless. We still in the jets, exactly where them boys say we ain't hanging. Put cheese on my head, I come collect that shit, you think I'm playing. Trouble hop out bustin' at it, brother miss you know I'm hitting. We got O's and Bo's in here and we got wood cook in the kitchen. If I say go get them, they go get them, young boy fingers itching. Fingers squeezing on the trigger, they heard all them glitches. Money man, I run it up, if I fall off I'm poking shit. Told that bitch quit asking questions, I hate all that notice shit. We send shots the whole year round, no ring around the road and shit. My little bro, he makes it vanish, he with hocus pocus shit. Chopper bust, they hit the ground, it's too many sticks around. We known to get greasy, pussy, don't you have your bitch around. Switch up on this bitch, I catch them deep, get a whole click around. Put us in the mission, shit that we ain't do, we spinning now. Bitch keep trying to tell me slide, think she trying to set the pick. Other hoes been tripping, texting my bitch on that messy shit. Left a bro out there with his brains out, yeah, that's that messy shit. Bought another Glock, let's catch a op so I can test the bitch.
Yo, what up, everybody? Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello and hello. I think we're having some technical difficulties on Lucky's end, but we'll bring her in. I just dropped the link for everybody to come in. We were setting up a show for you guys. No, I kicked you, Lucky. Try to hit the link I dropped. That might work a little bit better. What's up, AP? Oh, I didn't bring you in. Salute, AP.
What's up?
Chilling, man. We're going to have us a little conversation tonight about the TikTok ban.
I figured out my RAM problem I was having.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I had four sticks. They were all matching, right? Okay. They're all the same sticks of RAM. They're RGB Vengeance Corsair RAM, 16 gigs, right?
Yep.
But when I got the new RAM that was 32 gigs per stick, and I tried to install it with the other RAM, it crashed the computer every time. And I figured out why. Two of the sticks were different clock speeds, so they weren't running at the same speeds. They weren't the same, like, they weren't the same specs, so to speak.
Yeah, they got to match.
Yeah, they have to match, or else your shit's gonna fuck up and crash
every time. All right, we got Lucky back. All right, we have got a show for you this evening. What's up, Rinsky? How you doing, Peach? Hope? How y'all doing? What's up, Wookie? Salute to everybody in the chat. AP is in the chat. Hello, everybody. Sorry you got to sub up to this channel to talk in here. So sub up or don't talk. All right. What we're going to talk about tonight is the TikTok ban and how this is going to affect creators all over the U.S. Or why should we even care? It's a Chinese application taking all of our data, doing quite possibly way other things, you know, when it comes to election fraud, when it comes to
misinformation,
controlling our kids, because there is a TikTok app in China. It's not called TikTok. It's called Douwu or some shit. It's the app that they get. But that app don't have things like we have. No, it teaches.
It has educational things on there.
Yeah.
It's all educational. It's not brain rot, mindless scrolling. And it has limits on how long you can be on the application.
Yeah. It even has limits. Yep. That's very true. Thank you for joining us, Lucky. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. At what the Supreme Court has to say.
I personally do not like TikTok.
I don't either.
It's a curse.
I think ever since its start, it's always been child geared. It's always been geared towards children. It's just adults have found a way to use it to monetize what they want to do. And I'm for creators, you know. I honestly am. I'm for open, you know, open dialogue. I'm for never suppressing your speech. But there's a fine line. Go ahead.
Another like side to it is you got to think you're trying to compete against other social media applications like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, like the big boys, and
Yeah.
you make something that can catch the short attention span that kids have.
Definitely.
It's all shorts videos. It's not long form content because they don't have the attention span for it.
Nope. It's
You know,
all it's all based towards children and people with short attention spans. Let's see here.
Yeah, good Friday morning. To you, we're coming on the air with some breaking news from the
But I did find out there's hope for anybody who
has
does have a business
declined
out on
to
TikTok
stop a
who's just
ban
trying
of
to make
TikTok.
legit money, that this may not turn out to be as bad as everybody thinks it's going to be.
Well, they're going to ban it. They're getting rid of it in the U.S. Now, for the creators outside the U.S., you might still have a chance. But I say this, man.
Well, here's what I read. As soon as Trump comes into office, he has 90 days to try to have TikTok bought, either by Elon Musk or this company called, I forgot what it's called, but if one of the companies
have to be,
buys out,
it's going to have to be either bought by an American company and U.S. based ran, or they're going to have to shut it down. And that forces, that kind of forces the Chinese aspect away from it. Hi, Kimberly.
Yes.
I'm all for getting China out of it. You want to keep TikTok? Buy TikTok. Force them to sell. Let's get China out of it. We're going to cover all that, baby.
TikTok now set to take effect on Sunday. TikTok is, of course, one of the most popular social media apps in this country, with some 170 million users in the U.S. alone. But the app is owned by a Chinese company, and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have said that it is a national security risk.
It is.
Today's decision comes after the court heard arguments from TikTok against the law that essentially forces its parent company, ByteDance, to sell its operations here. Situation very fluid right now. Both the outgoing Biden administration and the incoming Trump administration, they've both said that they may try to keep the app going. Joined now by our senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. So, Laura, let's just start with what this means, what it doesn't mean, and what happens next.
So no question of defeat for TikTok here. Obviously,
here's what I'm going to say. Buy it. You want to keep it? Buy it. Go Elon. I say buy it and then start taking control over it.
Yep.
Period. TikTok is very influential in its own right. Sorry, y'all.
Well, I'm hoping Donald Trump takes a hold of it and actually moves it in the right direction. You know, make it more business-like, you know, make it more fun, but, you know, hopefully he can take it over and do it the right way.
That's what I'm hoping too. I hope somebody like Elon buys it. I really don't care who buys it, as long as America can watch over it, you know. And right where it's sitting right now, America's can't do anything with it. It's just we're funneling all of the problems right out. What's up, Mia? What's up, Charmaine?
The ban can go through, but there's a question mark about whether the law is actually going to be enforced, even though it was a bipartisan law passed by Congress, signed by President Biden. It may not actually get enforced. So let's come back to that for a second. First on the law here, the district court, I should say, actually, the District of Columbia, the circuit court there in D.C., decided to let this ban go through. And today the Supreme Court saying they got it right. So they are affirming the lower court decision, which means the ban can go through at least legally as of Sunday.
If anybody doesn't get it right in this fucking country, they do. Shout out to our Supreme Court, man. They just know how to do it correct. Everything that goes in front of the Supreme Court gets
That's done. When the law was supposed to go into effect. And so this allows that to happen. They say they're not going to get into the First Amendment implications of it. That was something that TikTok had raised and said they're looking at the national security implications, something that the Justice Department, the FBI, they've raised concerns about, as you mentioned, the Chinese ownership interest here, whether the manipulation of American users' data could happen, whether Americans could be spied on effectively. And because of that reason, the Supreme Court is allowing this ban to go through.
I
Now,
believe it's
however,
right.
as we have been reporting for days
sorry,
now,
I have
Savannah and
to
others
say
have been
that
reporting
you
for days,
duck
the
that.
Biden administration effectively
can't.
ready to punt this over to the Trump.
You cannot duck this, man. And that's all Biden's doing. That's all the Democrats are doing. They're waiting. They're just buying time to let this fucking battle fall on Trump's hands. What do you think, Luck? You think that it's okay for a Chinese company to run operations in America that collects data from people, that has so much influence over people?
See, my question that confuses me is they say China owns it, but it's run by a man from Singapore, which he claims he's not Chinese, and he's
Yeah, but
not
that's the problem with these Chinese companies. That's the problem with these Chinese companies. Like I'll give you an example. How can I do this? Okay, let's say Geek Bar. Let's say there's a geek, like there's a vaping company named Malassimo, and they make the same kind of vapes that Geek Bar does. The actual company of Malassimo is actually Geek Bar. They're the same company. They're the same exact company. It's just they're running under a different name to slide their things through. And that's how China gets by with a lot of this. It really is.
It's like getting Marlboro Reds, but then there's a bootleg called Montegos.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still making money regardless. They're just making it cheaper. Right. They're just, So, but I mean, everything should be run American made. It shouldn't be run. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't know why we can't, as Americans in America, run our own products. Period.
That's what we're going to have to start doing. I mean, we're going to have to get back to just that.
Administration, the Trump administration also realizing the popularity of this app, looking for ways to save it. But for the company, here's
the problem. Trump was not for TikTok. Trump was against TikTok. And then what TikTok did was, during this Trump campaign, they said, oh, well, let's flip the script and let's give Trump a little bit more love on this app. Let's give him a little bit more encouragement on this app. And that's what they did. They made Trump believe that these people are on TikTok are good now, when all along they were all bad. They were all against Trump. They hate Trump on TikTok. They hate it.
Yeah. I think he's the first president that's actually used social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter. I mean, every single platform to get across to all Americans.
Yeah,
not even Biden, who's like is our president now, could ever use that because he's being strung, by all his people in the background.
All the way up until this Trump campaign, it was against Trump. And now that they hear that the looming shutdown of TikTok is going to happen, now you want Trump on your side? Shut up.
In the general counsel, I'm saying as of right now, I have a valid law that the Supreme Court is saying can go through. This ban can go through. And so even though the political winds may change here, Craig, the ban as of right now can go into effect on Sunday.
Based on the arguments that we heard during the case there, and based on what we heard from the justices themselves, are you at all surprised by the High Court's decision?
No, and the timing here really, I think, sort of crystallized.
Okay, here's another question. As consumers of TikTok, if the ban is Sunday, do we go in and deactivate our accounts? Do we go in and shut the accounts down? That way there's no longer any use of our information? Or do we leave them open and let the app shut down itself, and then they have all of our information and we haven't gave them an opportunity to stop using it?
Ooh, well, a good thing with the app, you are actually allowed to actually download all your stuff beforehand, so you can take it. Yeah, but what I'm asking is,
if the app shuts down and goes away, your information is in that application. You didn't stop. You didn't say, okay, I'm deactivating, I'm deleting my app. You can no longer use my information now. What if you don't do that and the app just shuts down? Now they have all your information. I don't think it matters if you deactivate or not. It's a paper trail. You're always going to have that information in the system. They already have all the information they need. So if you deactivate or erase it, it's not really erased off the internet. It's not really erased in the background. Yeah, but if they use it further, then you have a lawsuit, basically. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
The stakes for everybody. The whole point of this law was to sort of prompt a divestiture. They hoped by passing this law by Congress,
Sorry,
If
Lucky.
it's stored, if it's saved.
Mm-hmm.
No. I think that's more of an AP question because he's more on the technology side. I would think that even if you deactivated your account, even if you erased everything off the account, that is still stored in a system. There's no way of erasing it. They still can backtrack all that information. So,
So
I mean, there's no eyes on it,
Yeah,
when it's
they're,
active with
they're
us over
downloading
here.
all of our data anyway.
the
Yeah.
way that majority of social media works is even after you delete a profile, it will still contain files that hold the information the profile
Yeah.
had. It's basically like an outline of the
Okay.
profile. So like have you ever seen like
Halala.
this is a bit of a deep
Oh,
cut
well,
here,
good.
but like have you ever heard of nuclear bomb shadows before?
Mm-mm.
They dropped a nuclear bomb on Hiroshima, right? And where
Mhm.
people were standing, the nuclear radiation left a shadow of where they were standing. So think of it like you're removing that thing that is you, but there's still something there that kind of outlines what was there.
Yeah, but if they're able to use
Yeah.
it after you shut your account down, though.
Yeah, but then you have to sue China,
Yeah,
the Chinese
that's the
government.
problem.
So like you're fucked.
Then the company
That's the problem
I
with
mean,
having a Chinese
if someone gets
operation
to
in
China
America.
and get away with it, then I want to know how they do it.
That's the problem with letting a Chinese application run in our country.
So
Man.
what you're saying is this episode of the AD podcast is sponsored by Incogni.
Incogni, hide your information.
would actually offload this books, perhaps sell it to someone else. That didn't happen. And so they were sort of in a game of chicken. And really, everybody was trying to see which one would sort of do the head fake first. But that has not happened here. And so now it's going to be up to the next administration to decide whether to enforce this or not.
Savannah Salas has been all over the story from the very beginning. I want to bring you into the conversation. Now, what have we been hearing from TikTok users, TikTok creators?
Oh, they're pissed.
Well, they have been quite upset,
they're
Craig,
pissed.
as you can imagine. As
People on TikTok are having a fucking fit. What in the fuck?
Just look at Josh Block. I'm gonna sue the federal government for
I
getting rid
know.
of TikTok.
What the
The
fuck
only
happened to my
thing
camera?
I have
here?
like 7. Oh,
Do what?
you still there? 7 million people didn't have a say to this. They had no control over this. A lot of people have their business run through TikTok. It's an easier, free platform that they can use, to sell their products all over the world. So they just totally just cut them off.
That's something that you got to be ready for, though.
Hearsay or anything.
But I
Yeah.
mean, this is something
I mean,
that
we
it
knew it
tells
was
you in
coming. We
terms
just
of
didn't know
service
it was
that
coming.
your channel and your shit away at any given time.
I think Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yeah. I mean, in the terms of service, it truly basically states on every platform that they can take this away from you at any time for anything. Just because they give you strikes and all that, those are just little basically laws they're laying down. Like they can literally just take your channel for no fucking reason, bro. So like for anyone to put all their eggs in one basket, it still baffles me that so many people do it to this day. It still baffles me. I can see getting a channel built or a TikTok built up so far to where you take that fan base and then you get them to this product or you get them to this link or you get them to something else that's more. I think that's the key of doing this. You don't stay doing this. This isn't something that people like Mr. Beast, like you seen what Mr. Beast did. That man don't have to make another fucking YouTube video for the rest of his entire life. He's got fucking ownership of probably 50 different companies.
He's got an Amazon show.
Yeah. The dude's fucking
he's Mr. Beast.
Exactly how it's done, man.
as we've been reporting here, 170 million Americans use this app. They were making a lot of noise, calling representatives. They were moving to other Chinese-owned apps as almost a form of protest to make those other apps go viral, kind of make the point, what are you going to do?
Do that for? Okay, so what kind of American would move to another Chinese-owned app just to show a sign of like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Whack-a-mole with these types of apps. But also what we're hearing from TikTok has been really interesting in the wake of that news that NBC broke yesterday, which is what Laura was just referring to. The Biden administration is essentially saying that they will not actually implement this law on Sunday. That was a huge win for TikTok because their biggest concern right now has been that day one implementation because it was the last day of a President Biden who obviously signed this.
So basically they're telling you, America, there will be no shutdown. We've been through this before, haven't we? With the same app. The same exact app. Mm-hmm. It's almost like they toy with us.
Into law, it was not yet over to President Trump, who has said he wants to save TikTok. The reason that's such a big deal, Craig, is because the way that the law is written, what would have happened on day one, should it have been being implemented, is the service providers to TikTok. So that's a company like, think about Apple. That's where you go into their app store and you download TikTok. That's Oracle. That's the company that's hosting all the data for TikTok.
That's what's going to happen, y'all. The Play Store is going to remove it. The App Store is going to remove TikTok. That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. I'm telling you. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're not going to ban it. They're just going to remove it from the stores, the app stores and shit. Because I'm going to tell you what, Google isn't going to be held liable for it, and neither is Apple.
See, what's going to happen is, from what I understand, is
you cut out on us.
Yeah, because they're going to remove the ability to get the app. So if you're a new user on TikTok, you can forget that. 2, you're not going to be able to update the software in the future.
You know what that leads to?
Whatever update you have, that's it. So
that leads to even worse problems.
It crashes.
Or they start hacking it.
Yeah.
That leads to worse
security
problems. Security problems. Yeah, you can't update it.
The thing I want to bring into that is, like, when you come to like the whole Apple versus Google thing, right?
Me, Peach.
Android is easier to operate because it's more open source, right?
Yep. You can get the APK files.
You can get the APK files. You can download it yourself. I still have a game that I helped work on that got taken down by Warner Brothers because it was using DC characters when fucking high school. I still have it on my phone because I have the APK files. It doesn't connect to the internet and shit, but you know, it's still there. You can still use it. The problem with that is the server side of like blocking specific IP addresses that are from the internet, like from America. That would be something they would have to do, not something that happens on your end. They would have to do it from their side.
Yep.
It makes it work. Those companies would have been the ones to face a punishment here. They would have been fined $5,000.
Like I just said, Google Play Store. They don't want to face the fucking punishments. The Apple App Store, whatever. They don't want to face the punishments of you downloading an app that's not supposed to be ran in the United States, and you're a United States user. They don't want that punishment, man. They're just going to remove it.
Dollars per user, 5,000 times 170 million. A lot of.
Do not use apps that you cannot update. Don't. Apps that are not updatable cause all kinds of issues.
No.
With security, that's the biggest thing. You want everything secure.
The kernel level access that some of these apps have is just ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
Like you don't understand how deep into your phone they actually go.
Oh,
how much control they actually have.
They say Facebook's one of the worst ones.
Yeah, that's why I deactivated my Facebook like a year ago.
Yep. Facebook is one of the most mining companies in the world. They're just
mining. With the Biden administration effectively saying they're not doing that, there is a good chance here, and I think this may end up being the headline, that TikTok continues operating as normal. They have not confirmed that. We will continue to see what happens throughout the day. The big thing we are now waiting for, and Laura can probably add more to this here, is now what the Biden administration, the Department of Justice, is going to say they're going to do. Those service providers and TikTok will be looking for the Department of Justice to put it in writing their plans to not actually implement this.
A whole bunch of sponsors and ad people are cutting the fuck out of TikTok right now. I bet TikTok's seeing the most people run from this app because
it's like the apocalypse of YouTube.
Yep. I'm telling you, bro, real people are going to leave this app. All you're going to find will be children and really dumbass people. Watch. That's what's going to be left.
People are giving out their social
on Saturday.
media.
Also, my sources have
everywhere else. There's like
I have a question for Kimberly. Like, what do you mean that stuff you have ordered? Like, you ordered a product, or you're saying like a continued subscription,
like TikTok store? Yeah, they have TikTok stores. Those stores are through somebody else, though. That stuff you buy on TikTok goes through a different supplier.
Anything that's like a subscription, like, you know how YouTube has channel members and like you can pay for like a monthly subscription. You know how YouTube does like Showtime, Paramount, stuff like that. Google Play will cut those off.
Yeah, they'll cut the membership fees off. If you ordered a product through TikTok, though, chances are it's not coming through TikTok. It probably comes through like an outside source company, and they're just adding it. They're just giving you a product ad for you to buy that product, but you'll still get your product, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Most companies will just still send the product.
If you paid for it, and it has shipped, and it's through the third party that's not connected, like directly from TikTok. Like, I don't mean that from like you bought it on TikTok store or whatever the fuck. I'm saying the store itself is not the store.
Yeah.
It's a front for a secondary source that sends out the products.
China does that all over the place, bro, with almost every product, dude. They just front different businesses. It's all they do. AliExpress, Temu. These are all the same companies, y'all. They're all coming from the same clothing. It's made in the same facilities. It's all the same products.
That's the thing. Like, I hate Temu just as much as I hate fucking TikTok, because all you see for ads on for like Temu and shit when you see it on Snapchat is like, buy this excavator that can mine lava. Like, what the fuck? Who does these? Who does these ad placements where they're like, you're saying we have 5,000 units and we haven't sold a single one? We need to get these excavators out of here. And they're the size of like a mini fridge.
You go, girl.
Like,
you go, Sarah.
Awesome, Sarah.
I don't fucking understand it.
And look at this video this person's watching on TikTok, bro. It clearly looks like a chick giving head, doesn't it? Look at the video on the screen, bro. Doesn't it clearly look like she's watching someone giving the head from the top?
It looks like Willie at the gangbang.
We will hear from TikTok today. They will say what this access to this app is going to look like this weekend.
So, Savannah, to be clear, the incoming administration, the Trump administration, indications from those officials are what?
Indications from those officials are they want to save it. The incoming national,
because they jerked Trump off this time. TikTok jerked Trump off just to get him off his back, man. I'm telling you, they did. They jerked him off this time, bro. They helped him get elected.
You can't please everybody, but you can try.
I know.
You will never see 100% approval rating for a candidate for president, because that's not how our system works. There's always going to be a dissenting opinion. People that don't like a candidate, people that don't like a party, people that don't like, the other
people
person
just
they're
don't
dealing
like with. Just to don't like. That's what they do.
Haters gonna hate. That's just what they do.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I've learned that so much just from being on the internet, bro. People just don't like because they think it's cool to not like.
National Security Advisor has been saying we have plans to intervene. Now, there are open questions about what that looks like. For starters, the
I've gotten some
president,
decent
the
tools
Trump
from there.
administration could essentially do what the Biden administration is saying they're going to do on Sunday, but just for a lot longer. Say, hey, we're not going to actually enforce that. They also could try to make a sale happen, which would then satisfy the law and make service providers.
Okay, so is it okay with everybody if they divest China from it? Which I don't think is going to happen. Unless someone offers China so much money.
What you're talking about is an entire translation from Chinese owned to American owned.
Yeah.
And what it comes down to is like you have to basically not only do the language translation, because on the back end everything's in fucking Chinese.
Coding is probably ridiculous.
It's probably fucked to the ass, dude. It is probably the worst possible.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine trying to
take that one over. That's for damn sure. Fuck, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about the back end, the coding for TikTok. Jesus Christ.
So that is something that I was
that would be ridiculous.
Fuck me, dude.
I'm not coding that shit, bro. Ain't no way, bro. We decoding TikTok. No way, Jose. It might be a little easier.
Fighters feel better, certainly.
Laura, we've got about 30 seconds left, and I see that you've been going through the actual decision.
Yeah, I think it sort of just underscores what a challenge this was. Always to say it was a free speech issue here when the ban didn't actually target the speech. The ban targeted the ownership of TikTok, and I think that was
That's
why.
a fact. I think we need to stop with the free speech thing. Let's cut that bullshit out right now, bro. I'm so sick of our American people coming up here and saying, oh, it's against free speech. We need to keep our TikTok channels. It's free speech. I'm not saying anything wrong on it. Of course you're not saying anything wrong on it. That's national security. You're talking about an app that has almost 700 million people just in the U.S.?
Yeah, in Canada.
Just in the U.S. using it. Fuck you, China. Fuck you, China. I hope Donald Trump.
I think the issue is when you make it about free speech, then you can negate the entire problem altogether because you're trying to placate it like it's something that's like, oh well, they're just doing it because I'm saying something and they don't like it.
Well, we're gonna lead. That leads right into something great here. We're gonna talk. This is good.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I say goodbye to Gavin Newsom, but it won't get recalled because most people just sit around and don't care.
Dude, we almost had Elder.
Hold on.
Do something. Let's jump to this next story from Reuters. TikTok prepares to shut down app in U.S. on Sunday. Sources say, good. Bye.
I'm okay with it.
Not good.
Bye-bye.
I think it's great.
I was surprised that it's going to. I assumed it was going to be one of those things where the phone just wouldn't update and then it would slowly become unusable, but it will actually be removed.
TikTok is doing this intentionally, and they don't have to. What the one of two things has to happen: they divest from their Chinese partner, or they remove the apps from the App Store, and the app still exists and can be downloaded off their website for anybody who wants to use it. However, the rumor is that TikTok decided to shut down entirely to spite its users, tricking them into getting mad at Congress for having passed this bill.
I also heard that Donald Trump is now touting the idea of trying to save TikTok.
He's been,
He wants to do an executive order to put a 60 to 90 day hold on the ban.
Which I don't know that he has the authority to do because Congress has already passed and it's already been signed.
Yep.
But I also completely disagree. So in 2020, the concern was that TikTok was the most censorious platform for the right. And it was propping up weird, woke, garbage ideology, people like Dylan Mulvaney. So then Republicans came out and said, why are we allowing a foreign country to have influence over our younger generation?
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Why are we given the opportunity for a foreign country to have influence over our children? How young are these kids on fucking TikTok, bro? Obviously too young to be on the platform, but they're there. Like this is influencing totally. The TikTok in China doesn't show what the TikTok in America shows. It's all learning things, building blocks. Let's see if these crazy fucking math mathematician things we do, like it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
That's a security
What's up, Rob?
threat. We should force them to divest. And if they don't, then they can't operate on U.S. servers. The Democrats were like, how dare you? Gen Z said, how dare you? We love TikTok. And China said, uh-oh, they're coming for us. So a couple years later, China basically says, ease up on the censorship of conservatives, make Trump look good. And all of a sudden, a bunch of right-wing personalities started getting traction on the platform and immediately changed their opinions.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the right was now, wait there, I don't know if we should ban this, but it was too late. After October 7th, when there was what appeared to be an artificial boost in anti-Israel, pro-Palestine content, Democrats and Republicans came together and said, it's time to stop TikTok from being able to control what people think in this country. Now, the reason I say that is not because I'm biased one way or the other on Israel-Palestine. There's a lot of legitimate criticism from the pro-Palestine side and anti-Israel. The issue was when October 7th happened, the majority of the content, it was largely pro-Israel, anti-Hamas. And then over a period of a couple days on the weekend, it flipped completely. That is not indicative of natural trends among people. It's indicative of an algorithmic switch. This triggered Democrats and Republicans to be like, we got to shut this down. But when Republicans started getting traction and Donald Trump personally started getting traction, all of a sudden he was like, nah, maybe we don't want to do this anymore. Yes. I say, shut them down. Foreign governments do not have free speech in America. They should divest. And if they don't want to, this is
foreign countries do not have free speech in America. You do not get to come over here and tell Americans how to act in your country. No, it's not going to happen, dog. This is the United States of America. I got you, Lucky. This is the United States of America. Foreign countries don't have free speech in the United States, bro. It's just how it is.
It's a trick. TikTok does not have to shut down. They are doing it so that American users go, oh no, Trump is taking away TikTok from us. Not true.
I also think that the part of the reason why they want to shut down as opposed to, sell it off or whatever is because the servers and the app itself is compromised and whoever were to purchase it would see what they were doing and also see the algorithm and probably see the algorithm, I assume, that they've been using. And that would implicate the Chinese Communist Party in espionage.
I think there's a lot of other far more serious risks to the American people, the mind of the American people than TikTok. I think that
that was a good call. Shout out to Phil from All That Remains. Hell of a lead singer there. Man, that man is smart. AP, well, I didn't even think about that one. That's why they don't want to sell. Look what Elon did with X when he got in there.
That's what I was getting at, AD.
Yeah, he set
what I was getting at. The back
bro.
end would be fucking horrible.
Yeah, dude. Everything that's compromised in it, how the Democrats probably got push in it, how the Republicans probably got push. Like, come on, man. Come on, y'all. They would not do any good by selling it off. If Elon got it, he would drop the TikTok tapes.
It'd be like the new Diddy. Diddy would take a back seat.
Hey, everybody, hit that like button for me, man. Share this live. Thank you, Rock.
Willie's got a live, and it's just a picture of a woman's ass.
Totally appreciate you.
Willie used a random woman's ass as a picture for his thumbnail.
Oh Lord!
Farmland in strategic positions around the United States is a far greater threat.
Different subject though.
And they also own the entire slate of Hollywood. They control. They basically say you can't put this in this movie, or we won't show it in the Chinese market, the largest movie marketplace in the world. Then on top,
I'm not gonna say he's dumb because he speaks about United States politics on TikTok, but this guy's on TikTok, you guys. He has invested interest to not lose TikTok. He has like 100 and something thousand followers or some shit. I don't know. He's got a lot of followers on TikTok. Come on up. How you doing? You're not gonna say anything? Good. Bye, bitch. God damn, bro. You like, hi, son. You need my
top of all
attention, go
that,
make a video.
they have a lot of influence in a multitude of other different aspects of American society, including sports. The Daily Wire did a great, like 6 or something part series about how they're infiltrated into all these other parts of culture. So to think that TikTok specifically represents some type of existential threat, I don't think is really true. And if you want to say that, okay, they don't have the right.
They come over here and they try to troll by using my dead mama's picture. Hi, son. Like, oh, you broke my little heart.
I think
my
you
little
mentioned the
Don't
devil
break
and he
my heart.
appears.
You want my attention so bad, bro. It's so bad.
It's
a real
pretty
strip
sad.
wouldn't care about a white
It is
boy in
pretty
Indianapolis.
You know what?
Strip wouldn't care.
From him.
You know what I realized? Yeah, we'll talk about this here in a few.
Yeah.
It's a free speech, or they can't collect this data. Well, then make a rule that this type of data can't be collected by
That's not the issue.
by any social media.
The issue is that they put Dylan Mulvaney on the front page. That's the
Here
issue.
you
Is
go.
that proof though? Can you prove that that's the case?
That TikTok's algorithm puts it. That's a fact. I mean,
Can you prove that they put their thumb on the scale that is the case because of them?
Yes.
How?
by going on TikTok, scraping the data and looking at what appears and what doesn't. And actually, we actually do.
That's what tells you. Get them, Tim. That's what tells you when you scrape the data. That's what tells you. Straight up. Tell them, Lex. Bye, motherfucker. Bye. Peace.
Rather simple experiments on tracking this data. You'd have to replicate what we do probably 100 times, but I think it's fair to say it's easily done by any AI. You take a look at Dylan Mulvaney's earliest videos, which we did, and they have nothing to do with being trans. They're gay safari. And what Dylan Mulvaney was doing was basically poking the algorithm to figure out what kind of video would go viral. When Dylan,
you hear that right there? Dylan Mulvaney poked the algorithm. This dude, we all know who Dylan Mulvaney is. The dude that damn near bankrupted Bud Light. The dude that damn near bankrupted Bud Light when they put him on the fucking cover of it. He sat around, he was like, okay, I'm going to be gay. He got a little bit of traction. Didn't get enough traction because there's a lot of gay people in the world. Then he posted this, or I'm going to be this way, and I'm going to be that way, until he finally got into the full algorithm of TikTok.
That is the case because of them?
Yes.
How?
By going on TikTok, scraping the data and looking at what appears and what doesn't. And we actually do rather simple experiments on tracking this data. You'd have to replicate what we do probably 100 times, but I think it's fair to say it's easily done by any AI. You take a look at Dylan Mulvaney's earliest videos, which we did, and they have nothing to do with being trans. They're gay safari.
Yes.
And what Dylan Mulvaney
all right, so he was just gay.
Was doing was basically poking the algorithm to figure out what kind of video would go viral. When Dylan Mulvaney came out as it's a gay safari, wasn't really getting a lot of traction. Then did the I'm non-binary, good amount of views. Then the next video, I'm now trans, double the views. Then, hey guys, I'm trans, not so many views. So,
see, it's what he did. That's what people do. They poke the algorithm. Then you got people that don't know what an algorithm is. They just come on here and do dumb stuff. And they think that's going to do something for a career or do something for anything that they're doing. But
Willie White.
It's stupid, bro.
Days of girlhood. Instant algorithmic success. You can look at almost any creator on various platforms. YouTube it's true the same thing. Look at look at Mr. Beast's early content, and you can see how it's not that they're intentionally like sitting down and saying, how can we exploit the algorithm? They're making content, and then content that works, they decide, hey, people like that. I'll keep doing it.
That's exactly what the fuck they do. That's exactly what everyone does. And it's not going to get you any further. All it does is put you in a box. I've learned that, dude. I'm going to touch on everything. This channel here is going to touch on everything adult. It's not just going to be like adult sex conversations. Get on, kitty.
Or if you're Dylan Mulvaney, it puts you in a penis.
Well, I'm just saying, like, when you crowd yourself in a box of like just talking about one thing, I've learned that way, bro. I've learned from it. Like, this is what I've learned. What's up,
dude?
Bill?
I've seen the algorithm in action, right? Sunshine would send me like a Miley Cyrus song, and all of a sudden I have fucking Miley Cyrus popping up in my bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Some one-off fucking video, and then all of a sudden that's what's popping up.
Yep.
Well, you know how you fix that problem? You log onto your computer and you log into YouTube, and you can delete your search history so it doesn't pop up again.
Yeah,
in your
you can
algorithm.
clear your cache and all that.
Because Yeah. But if you clear your cache, you have to log back into everything, and
Yeah.
it's kind of fucking
Well,
annoying.
you can reset your algorithm. Except
My
for the
algorithm,
things you love and heart.
my algorithm is comic book stuff, guns, and science stuff.
Mine's a lot of political shit. I'm not gonna lie. Mine's a lot of political cows. I got a lot of low cows that come through.
With the gun stuff that comes with the Republican notion, because you're not going to find any liberals making fucking videos about guns that are like positive.
So you can see on TikTok that woke, weird gender garbage and ideologies that break the minds of young people have been massively dominant on the platform. And it was only when the right said we are being censored that TikTok switched it and gave conservatives a little bit.
But is that grounds for banning?
Yes.
I mean, couldn't you say that every other mainstream news outlet in America, including Facebook, including Instagram, including Google, including YouTube, every single other platform does the exact same thing?
Well,
so,
I can sue Facebook in the United States.
They're Americans.
Yeah, but TikTok has established corporate ties
So
in the United States.
China can divest from it, and we got no problem. They
it.
can run their algorithm exactly as YouTube, X, and Facebook do. We can complain. We can make claims of government collusion, send investigative journalists, and file lawsuits and FOIA requests.
Yes, we can do that to YouTube. We can do that to Twitter. We can do that to Facebook. We can take them to court. We can file all these lawsuits. We can do whatever we want. You know why? Because they're American companies. Who the fuck are you suing from TikTok?
Yeah.
If TikTok does something, let's say, totally real wrong, who are you suing from TikTok? Who are you holding liable?
Turns out X and Twitter, I don't want to blame X because X is new. Twitter and Facebook were operating portals to allow the feds to go in to take down posts or to flag them. And we don't know what TikTok does because all that's happening in China. So China divest, TikTok stays, we're fine. The problem right now is I'm not arguing for banning TikTok. I'm arguing China divest. I don't know why you would actually argue that China should be allowed to own it.
I just don't understand what is the grounds that require. I don't understand what forcing them to divest changes about this algorithm or changes about what they're doing. There.
It doesn't.
Then couldn't theoretically China remain invested in it, but you have to reveal X, Y, and Z? Because is China not invested in a multitude of other different aspects of American
U.S.
society?
just named Tencent as a military company. So it looks like the moves are happening in on more than just TikTok. And while the bill that was passed specifically isolates ByteDance and TikTok, it does go on to mention any other company that is being operated in a similar way by Russia, North Korea, China, or Iran.
Nice. But the bill.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Simple as that. I'm cool with TikTok staying, you guys. I think it's a very great way for people to make money. I'm here for creators. I'm here for people to make extra money, earned money. This is all ways for people to make money. I'm here for it. I'm here for free speech. I'm here for all that. But what I'm here for first is America, my freedom, my liberties, my children, our children. Yeah, go look at China's TikTok. It's quite different than the TikTok we receive. It's absolutely opposite.
Yeah, it's dictated.
But that bill is exceptional.
It's
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it's all like learning content. Like you have to learn on there, and it's very, very different than the TikTok we receive. And then they have time limits on it. So like you're only allowed to have, so much control on that app for so long a day. It's fucking pretty ridiculous.
Vague and could cover a multitude of other different websites that TikTok is not the only one of. It's not a ban specifically on TikTok. It's actually a very
not a ban at all.
But it is. It has a lot of very vague language that could affect American businesses, American websites that have nothing to do with TikTok.
You know what doesn't make sense?
Because it doesn't just specifically ban.
They keep talking about, China's coming in and they're gonna get our information, but no American platform is off bars either. Anybody from any country can come into an American social platform and hack into your stuff and get just as much as information as it can on TikTok. So it doesn't stop them. Just it's one app. There's millions of apps that they
Yeah,
can
but
get
here's the
into and
problem.
hack.
I'm not. I don't. TikTok, I think, is the only China-based app that my information is on, though.
That's not true. TikTok has no more dangerous information than any other social sites.
Yeah,
And the
I'm not
attempts to
saying it's
ban it are
I'm not
just,
saying
yeah,
I'm not saying anything dangerous. I'm just saying my
yeah,
information.
yeah.
Like,
I
that's
mean,
the only China-based app. So, like,
yeah,
I can't come to China and say, "Well, you misused my information. You did this with my information.
yeah,
Why did the information breach come from you?" Like, we can't sue them. I can go
yeah.
to YouTube right now. I could put a complaint right this minute. You know what I mean? Like any
Yeah, that's
creator that
true.
has over any creator that's been monetized and has the YouTube studio open, you can get with like the studio people. Like
That
you
is
can
true though, because with TikTok, they don't really, you can't really fight an argument
nope.
with
I mean, you
just like,
can't really on these like YouTube getting appeals and all that shit and fighting back against all the things they do to you. It's useless
yeah,
too. I'm not gonna lie, it's useless just like it is on TikTok.
yeah,
But the problem still lies is they're a China-based app. They're Chinese owned and operated.
yeah.
And they have too much influence, I believe, at this point. And
That's
what
true.
would be wrong for let's say a Chinese guy built this app, right? We all know it come from Musically, Dubstep, Dub Smash, or whatever it used to be. It was all those things before it was TikTok. But you built this app. Let's say you've got this app this big. Why wouldn't you want to sell it? Like, sell it to Elon, sell it to somebody in America. You know why they don't want to sell it? Because they know they're compromised. It's a compromised app already. I guarantee it.
It offers a lot
I
of
wonder
different
if I wonder if
privileges that
Elon
could
were to
jeopardize.
buy this company, how much dirtiness he'd find
That's
in
what
the
I'm
back
talking about.
room.
Like, it's already
Yeah,
been compromised. Yeah.
yeah. You know what I mean? They don't want to like to let us know that they really were looking at our shit. That'd be something else.
Well, it's not even that. It's more like influencing the minds of our young people.
Yeah,
Like, look what TikTok promotes, man. Like gender changing and like it is really, really pushing the lines.
that's
Call
true.
it Tic Tac.
Tic Tac.
That could it's like, do we want the government to have more power? I thought that's what we were against. I thought we were against giving them more power and more censorious power and more thought distribution censorship. Isn't that bad? Shouldn't we say that any platform can't do X and all of them have to be able to follow those exact same rules? And if TikTok follows these rules, why should they be forced to divest? Shouldn't they be forced to divest from the farmland? Shouldn't they be forced to divest from Hollywood?
Yes.
Yes. So then,
and no one disagrees with that.
Okay, so
why are we allowing?
So we should force everything. So
why are we allowing a foreign corporation to have such a strong control over the economy of the United States? How do you imagine this? Imagine China being able to convince an American to argue for Chinese interests on a live show to 50,000 people right now.
Rand Paul said you have the right to hear the wrong information. Who are we to say that they don't have the right, that you don't have the right to hear the information that's incorrect? And the other thing too, to go back,
foreign adversaries operate. If you go, I'll put it this way: if you went to the founding fathers and said, do you believe that free speech extends to all peoples? They would say, of course. Do you think it extends to our adversaries to leaflet in our country? No, of course not. Absolutely not.
There's a lot of psychological subversion that's happening on any multitude of digital distribution platforms that is going anti to our own.
Issue with that argument against American platforms.
Yeah, I take issue with that argument. The idea that there are other people that might do it, so we should allow TikTok to do it. I don't think that's really a solid argument. I think that like fair enough. Like there are other platforms that may, fine. That doesn't mean that we should just say, well, because other people can do it.
Here's the problem with this. The dude that's up there, he's not giving a very bad argument, right? But the argument he's giving this argument because he's got invested interest with TikTok. If TikTok goes away, so does he. You know what I mean? And I understand that dude is like, he's trying to fight for TikTok, but still fight for America. But
TikTok should do.
So is the crux of the argument that TikTok shouldn't be able to psychologically subvert Americans that choose to download TikTok and choose to watch those videos?
China, should not be allowed to operate a massive influence program and economic control on our younger generation.
Yeah.
If TikTok divests from China, then it's an American company. It can do it at once.
But is that to say that they don't have any other influence from China?
They will have influence, but then don't you have recourse?
But then don't you have to divest Hollywood from China?
Thank you very much. Then we have
China's entanglements.
More people watch media produced from Hollywood than talk.
Not anymore.
The sum of all television shows, all
Not
HBO,
anymore.
all movie
and
theaters.
also First of all, no. I do think that there are more people that are actually watching TikTok and on a platform like that than are watching movies and stuff, because this is the new medium. This is the new medium. People don't sit down and watch movies.
Going out to the movie theaters no more.
Nope.
Not in drones like they used to. Nope. People are not going out for movie night no more. It just isn't happening. People aren't lining up at the theaters to see fucking the new Halloween Michael Myers movie. People aren't lining up at the fucking movie theaters to see the brand new Christmas movie that's dropping this summer or this fucking winter. They're not. They're staying at home watching everything from their telephones. Straight up.
Nearly as much as they used to. A lot more people are on TikTok, first of all. And second of all, TikTok shapes the information that you're getting. Right?
They all do.
Everything shapes information that you're getting.
I understand
we can
that.
file lawsuits against American companies and the Supreme Court can protect us.
Yeah, but
thank you for that one. Who is the Supreme Court going to protect when TikTok is an American country, bro? I don't think theaters were targeted, and that's why people stopped going. I don't think so. I don't think that was the case. I think social media has a lot to do with it. I think the phone has a lot to do with it. I mean, fuck, people target everything. The Batman guy, he was the one that went and shot up the place. He went in and shot up the
theater. Wasn't he a Joker? No, he was a Joker.
Was he a Joker?
Yeah, I think he was a Joker
or some shit.
Because he had green hair.
Oh yeah,
it was a Joker.
Yeah.
Well, ever since COVID happened, a lot of things kind of,
too. I went to the movie theater probably about 2 years ago. It had to have been at least 2 years. And that motherfucker was nice. They had fucking waitresses, bro.
Oh yeah, the dinner and the movie.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
Fucking the seats laid out real far. It had a table that swung across me and laid in front of my lap. And I'm like laying down and shit. And I'm like, oh, now this is how you see a movie.
Now the one in our area, they serve alcohol too, so you can have yourself a nice little beer. Yeah, you can have a nice dinner.
Around the corner from me, bro. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
What that is.
Oh, really?
No shit.
Yeah, they serve alcohol
around the fucking corner from me. I know what that is now. I've been around this place probably 15 times now. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of theater is that? Because this is something theater on it.
Mm-hmm.
That place is, I think.
Shoot, they have ones now that have beds in them. You can actually literally you're in a recliner bed.
Lounge seat, son. It was it had a whole table that whipped around and came out.
Yep. They serve alcohol too in them, which is nice.
Yeah,
you have a nice little alcohol beverages.
Alcohol where I'm talking about, because I see it said adult, I don't know. I remember saying something like that. I think that's what that is. I'm gonna check it out now.
Hell yeah!
But TikTok is incorporated in the United States and could be sued in the same way.
Only as far as American interests can press. We can't go to China and ask them to release their servers and release data.
But here's what I'm trying to understand is if a thing is wrong, and it's okay, there has to be a law in place that universally applies that says that this thing is wrong. Okay, well then what is the thing that is wrong that we are supposedly solving that the ban solves on its own?
See, this is that's a liberal argument. Okay. But it is. It's a liberal philosophical liberal argument that there must be an underlying straight identifiable principle that affects all things that we can identify as either good or bad. But I think that's, right now, I would put it for me, I came to a realization on this one. We would describe it as probably a post-liberal principle where actually there is no happy medium. There is no middle ground where we can definitively say one such thing is right or wrong. Let me try and get specific, because otherwise it's hard to understand. The argument that we've often brought up on this show is, should parents have the final say on medical issues for their children? Yes or no?
Should
listen to this, okay, guys? I want you guys to answer this along with me. Should parents have the final say with what? Okay, should parents have the final say with what happens medically with their children?
Absolutely.
Okay, your answer is absolutely yes. Okay, chat. Come on, I'm gonna see the answers. Should parents have the right to everything? Hold on, let me back it up. Let me back it up. Let me get the question.
Say one such thing is right or wrong. Let me try and get specific, because otherwise it's hard to understand. The argument that we've often brought up on this show is, should parents have the final say on medical issues for their children? Yes or no?
Should parents have the final say? What's up, Chance? Hell yes, 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 yes. Okay. Next question.
Should parents have the final say on medical issues for their children?
Yes.
Yes.
So a parent who wants to give their 10-year-old a sex change should have the final say on that.
Absolutely.
So a 10-year-old that wants to get a sex change, a parent can say yes.
That should be the only thing people can say, the parents,
but
not
that's
the government.
Thinking. Logical thinking tells me there's something wrong with the parent here. What's wrong with the parent here? You know? Hold on. You want to have your son's dick chopped off at 10?
No, not at 10. There should be boundaries on the age for sure.
That was the question.
Oh, yeah, no, I misread that question. No, not at 10 years old. Hell no, there should be a boundary. They should be 18 years old.
Okay,
you know.
So here's the question again.
Should parents have the final say on medical issues for their children?
Yes.
Yes.
So a parent who wants to give their 10-year-old a sex change should have the final say on that.
No. Not at that age. Absolutely not that age.
So that leaves every other conversation that people try to have, for those open-ended fucking conversations that people have. Nah, man, it don't always have to end like that. Like T always says up here, two things can be correct at the same time. Two things can be wrong at the same time. One can be right and one can be wrong.
Yep.
Like, should you be able to, like, come on, there'd be definitely something wrong with the parent if you're walking into the goddamn office and saying, my 10-year-old wants to chop his dick off. Can we turn it into a cunt? What?
Yeah, no.
I understand that it would have to be the parent in the end that did that if your son's 10. But let's not even entertain that shit.
No, I guess
it doesn't.
See, it doesn't
universally apply.
Okay.
So when conservatives and liberals both argued the exact same principle, parents can decide what is best for their children. Conservatives said, you can't force my kids to get vaccinated, but I will force you to stop if you try to give a kid a sex change. Democrats were inverted. You should be, if the Democrats argued, if the doctor prescribes a sex change, the parents should be barred from preventing it, and the children should not even tell them. However, the government should be able to mandate vaccination. So the principle of parental rights in medicine does not universally apply to morality or ideology. In this regard, I would say, based on the bill that we have, there is no universal principle of what we're going to identify as being right or wrong. The issue is a foreign adversary has control over a large swath of the American people's psyche by feeding them specific information and convincing them to argue in the financial and security interests of China instead of the United States. We like the idea that someone would come here and literally be like, China should be allowed to operate a mass media program in the United States to 112 million people blows my mind. Like, it should be as simple, like, we don't allow them to do that. Like, the argument is only they must divest and operate under U.S. law. And then we can subpoena their servers, pull their data. And if they're harboring outside of the country, we can charge them and shut them down in the United States. Right now, all we're saying is TikTok, divest from ByteDance and keep doing your thing.
Yes. Divest.
I still don't understand specific.
Divest, bro. Just sell the company to America.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah, man. There's already a company in America running it. You see, there is a base for TikTok here in America. We all know that. There's a home base for TikTok in America, and it's ran by that other media company or whatever. Sell it to them and let them take over. The problem is, bro, they're going to ask them to release all the algorithm.
That should be interesting.
They're going to ask for the tapes, bro. They're like basically everyone's gonna know then that TikTok is a fucking scam, bro.
Specifically, what is the thing that they need to do that is solved as a result of them divesting? If it's like, okay, then you have to be able to have your servers have to be able to be subpoenaed. Then couldn't that just be the universal practice of all platforms?
I don't want Chinese interests to have a control over parts of our economy, be it farmland, be it TikTok, be it Hollywood. And we can start with TikTok and other platforms they try to introduce, and it's going to be a game of whack-a-mole, but I do think it's important that we do it.
What if the information was correct?
Who cares? That's fine. Who cares?
Well, if you're blocking them because if you're blocking this country, or insert any other country, if you're blocking the information from coming in that could potentially be correct, then we don't have the ability to see the correct information.
That's
if you can sue Facebook
in a country like North Korea and we have no means to do shows like
it's
this.
It's also assuming that the only place you could get the correct information is that one specific app. The apps. Yeah. Okay. So I would, especially in. Well, I think that's kind of unlikely.
I can end this debate right now.
Do it. Do it.
How many followers do you have on YouTube?
5,100.
How many followers do you have on Twitter?
5,000 something. 5,500.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
155,000.
Oh,
wow. It's a big jump.
Oh, so see why we got a guy up here going so hard for TikTok, we see, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He's got 5,000 on fucking YouTube.
Well, that's why he needs to go ahead and bring him over.
I'm half that on my big channel on YouTube. That's
He's got to bring it over.
5,000 on YouTube, you're not reaching no one.
Yeah.
You got 155,000 on TikTok? Huh. Tim killed him with that one, bro. He killed him with that one. What a witty feller.
That doesn't solve any. I make video content. Video content does not vertical.
You're arguing for the platform where you have a following.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it has nothing to. No, that.
Yeah, buddy.
That is not true.
That is
it's
true,
a false
man.
equivalency. It's a false equivalency to suggest that my opinion is biased simply because my content works there. For you to presume that that's the case is incorrect. There's nothing to lead you.
I made an assumption, and
you can make an assumption, but it's a false assumption.
That's how many followers I have on TikTok.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. But that is
It's kind of false equivalent. I feel like
basically you're saying that you're saying I'm only arguing because I want to benefit myself.
I don't think TikTok. I don't think Tim even uses TikTok anymore. I think anybody that follows Tim on TikTok is following a fake page. They've blocked him like 5 times on TikTok. But yet every night on YouTube, he's the #1 fucking watched live stream every single night on YouTube. The #1 watched live stream at 8 p.m.
Well, you could presume that, but that's not the case.
Like
if I had no followers on Twitter,
I don't think you read the bill. I don't think you know what's in the law.
See,
I can't recite it back and forth right now. It's been a long time.
I can't recite the bill. It's been years since I've seen the bill, guys. I just don't. I can't talk about it right now, bro. But I'm up here campaigning for TikTok in China. Yeah, keep me TikTok, please.
Since it came out,
I think you're arguing for your platform.
I'm not arguing for my platform, though.
Yeah, you are.
I have more followers on Instagram than I do on TikTok.
All right, fair point.
And I don't care about TikTok.
We have almost no follows on TikTok because TikTok banned us like 5 times.
Right. And I don't like the censorious nature of TikTok. What I understand is that giving the government more authority to do X, and specifically to limit the distribution of thought because this thought is wrong and or it comes from this place, therefore it can't be correct, is a dangerous precedent and an additional power and an additional authority that we're already giving to a government that largely mismanages.
The real ones in the chat, bro. What's this? Is this bots? Y'all bots? What's up, bots? Bot. Yep. More bot. More bots.
Just about every possible thing. So it's like, okay, they can ban this from China. Well, now couldn't they theoretically ban information from whatever else? Doesn't it open the door?
It's not. There's no ban.
And what can't they do?
There's no ban.
What can't they do? Like, honestly, at the end of the day, if the government wants to do something, they can do it.
Yeah.
And the only thing stopping them,
baby,
is if the American people get loud enough and make enough of a stink.
Yep.
And that's it. Because the Constitution is just a piece of paper. And the government has gone around every single law every single liberty the American people have that's protected by the Bill of Rights.
Yep.
The government has found a way around it.
So we should give them more power so they could do more censorship.
You're not giving them power.
How does
they already have it?
So then why do they make the bill at all? Why didn't they just do it? Why do they have to vote on it if they already have the
power is exercised?
That's how. Yeah, that's how.
So it's just a procedure. So
let me tell you guys a story.
Well, I mean, what is it that they can't do? Well, what do you think that they're
then couldn't they have already forced them to sell it?
This is
before, 2 years ago.
This is them doing it.
Yeah, but if they have ultimate power and they could have done it anyways, then why even have the bill? Why even have the show? Why not just do it?
The power is derived through congressional action.
Yeah, and it's a dog. Everything's a dog and pony show.
Bobby, are you friends with Fang Fang? I'm just kidding.
No, I mean,
let me tell you guys a story that is completely unrelated to any of these platforms. There was once a social media platform that allowed people to post videos singing songs. It was marketed largely to young people on various social media platforms, showing young people singing songs.
Okay.
This is a fictional story, by the way.
Oh, gotcha.
And all the kids love to sing songs, and so when they signed up for the platform, they decided to try it out and see if this platform was right for them. For many of these young people,
hold on, man. Shout out to the homie that sent 20 on the chime, yo. Who was that? Who was it that sent me 20 on chime? Shout yourself out if you want. I don't want to.
Get careful because if you tell them what their name, their screen name, they may just usually show up over at Willie's channel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, he said for real, Chance Wilkins. He said, "Let's fucking end this woke BS." Shout out to real Chance Wilkins. And I want to say something else, man. Shout out to him for the last drop. I didn't want to say his name or nothing, but I didn't know who sent it. But now I can see who sent it. He said, "For keep up the good work, brother." I appreciate I appreciate that love, bro. I truly do. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Salute to you, man. This is how we do it.
People they saw overnight, they gained thousands of followers. It was amazing. In one instance, a prominent journalist decided to visit a production studio in Hollywood. And he met up with another production specialist who showed this cool new app where you can sing songs. And she had 300,000 followers. Whoa. And she played this app and said, "Let's do a video." And when she did the video, she got tons of comments that said, "Wow, bang, hi, cool, amazing, so good." And the journalist said, "Isn't it strange that all the comments are saying nonsense words and not actually responding to you in any way? How do you have so many followers on this platform? You don't have any followers anywhere else, and you have no large body of work." Shrug, says the production specialist.
Shout out to my homie AP. He said for Penis. I don't know what he's getting at there, bro. Shout out to AP, bro, for the $10 donation.
Right now, 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 right now.
And shout out for the real Chance Wilkins. Please stand up.
Because I'm going to keep it G real. I don't fuck with you because you disrespecting me. You disrespect my hood. by telling me take off my flag, asking how gangster I was, nigga. You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz. I told you I ain't got time for that, but nigga, today I got time, cuz.
Oh, the cult dudes. Okay, my bad, man. Shout out to you, AP. To the cult dudes. It's so hilarious, ain't it?
I'm gonna come right back. I gotta do something. I'll be right back in 1 second. Hold on.
Oh man, we're gonna be having AP's doing a lot of work behind the scenes for this Lol Cal show. We're gonna be doing that soon. Voting for the Lol Cal Awards will be going on. I'll put the votes up probably on all 3 channels. That way we can tally up the votes. It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun with it. AP's putting in a lot of work, y'all. What in the hell happened, man? Did I get copyright struck? Did I get banned? Nope. Nope.
Reasonable?
No, it's not, because TikTok wasn't banned.
Well, you don't have to make something happen in order to make something happen. If you effectively strip every right that you have, and then who does it go to? It goes to Microsoft. Microsoft's never done anything bad to the American people. So
I can sue
does that
Microsoft.
solve it? Yeah, but again, like I said, if you can sue them in the United States, I don't know. I don't want to keep
FOIA.
I don't want to keep looping around.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be arguing this at all.
Okay, well, I am arguing it. So
okay, well, Douyin is Chinese TikTok.
Okay,
so
okay.
Douyin in China shows kids math, science, astronomy, etc.
Fine.
What do you think happens to a generation of Americans?
Yeah, of course you can come up. You know what the link is, man. Everybody can come up, man. Hell yeah. Anybody can hit that link. Come on up. If you're a real person, real individual, and you're here to have real conversation, hit that link. That's what we are here for. You want to do a shot? I'll do one with you.
Americans that are raised on TikTok's gender woke algorithm.
These people are using these applications with their own free will,
and then TikTok,
but no one's forcing them. But no
what appears on the what appears for people and what does not.
So you're saying that we have to block information that we deem to be influential.
They have to divest from China.
Yeah, but I don't even see how that solves it. I don't see how them divesting from China changes the influence that they have over the algorithm.
It means that we will have legal recourse in the United States.
And make it legal recourse and don't force them to divest. What do they have to divest from? If you have the legal recourse,
Americans have a right to their opinions. Yeah. Chinese people do not have a right to assert opinions over Americans. It's that simple.
But they already are in a multitude of other different ways.
And we want it all to stop.
Okay,
that's just one of the ways.
But isn't the farmland around military installations far more threatening than somebody?
It's not.
It's not.
That's not the question.
Hold on.
All right. Well, let me tell you why it's not.
Okay.
112 million people on a platform, arguably assuming it's true, affects an entire generation into engaging in behaviors that will destroy a country from the inside out. Farmland being owned is bad. We can seize that with a finger snap, but you can't seize back the minds of 12-year-olds who for 10 years used a platform that told them to cut their fucking balls off.
Yeah, but
so we don't want that.
But you're saying, but again, so then if Facebook says this, then what? You can stop Facebook. If Facebook,
we literally did it. Congratulations, we all won. Trump got in. Zuckerberg bent the knee and said we're removing the restrictions.
Right. So okay, if X decides to do this, then what?
Decides to do what?
If it comes out that X is not a publicly traded company.
Twitter did it.
Yeah, but
I literally sat down with the CEO and the head of legal for Twitter and explained to them that they had a biased rule set that was favoring people who were suffering a DSM-5 mental disorder.
Yep.
And then Elon Musk bought it and ripped it to shreds. We win.
Why should the United States allow TikTok, which is run by China, to operate in the United States when China doesn't allow Facebook or Google or any number of other American companies to operate in China without having strict censorship laws?
Is that the metric?
I know, but why should we?
But I don't.
Yes,
I don't.
diplomatic reciprocity.
I just don't know. Well, it's a communist. They're communists. It's a communist state. It seems to me to compare what they do to their people as a metric.
They do that is because they want to control what information their people see.
Yeah, that's bad.
Why would we allow
control is bad?
Why would we allow communists to control a large economic driver in the United States and information driver?
because the moral hazard of restrict.
Here's the issue. Why are we letting them have such an information driver on our American society when they don't allow anything that we do except our money?
Well, here's the thing that I'm trying to question is how come they're trying to ban a social media app, right? But how come China has so many properties bought here in the United States?
They
And
do.
but we
And
can't
that's
and we
another
can't
thing
buy
we need to
nothing
do.
over there in China. US cannot buy no properties on China, but China can buy property here in the United States.
What's
Why
up,
is that?
Chance?
Hey, what's up? Give me 1 second. I'm getting my AirPods.
Oh, do your thing, buddy.
I suggest that they should take all the property.
Yeah.
I suggest they go ahead and sell. They have certain amount of time to sell all the properties that they have here in the U.S. and then we're good because they're here in the United States. Regardless if it's a social media app, regardless of what it is, they're here in the United States, and the United States let it happen. So now it's time to take back our country completely and kick China the fuck out, products and all.
That's right. That's right, Rand. It's a money thing, man. I'm here for creators, bro. I think TikTok's such a good thing for people to make money. Don't get me wrong. I think all that. Thank you, Miss Lucky Strike, for the $20 drop, because this is how real people support real people. Man, don't make me fucking cry up here and shit, yo. This shit ain't even fair.
Right now, 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 right now.
Where do you think people are going to go? That's the question, Lucky. Where do you think people are going to go? I don't think the TikTok universe survives on Twitter.
No.
It's either going to be Instagram or YouTube. I think they survive more on Instagram, but this is why YouTube has been rolling out its vertical live stream, vertical streaming, vertical videos.
Do you think that's why? Because they knew it was coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they knew. Oh yeah, you got to think Google runs YouTube. It's all ran by Google, and they run all the news, so they know all the news that's getting fed. Yeah, I mean,
So they knew this was coming. It was just a matter of time. They were pre-prepped beforehand to be smart about this. And you know what? In a way, I kind of think it is a good idea because they can lock down on the stuff that they couldn't do before. You know, so I think
Are we talking about the TikTok ban?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been saying this since day one. TikTok was only a Chinese spyware.
Yeah, wasn't it like Dub Smash first, and then it was
No, it was Musically, and then it was Vine, and then it became TikTok. And now the one thing that's irritating the shit out of me is that everyone's jumping from TikTok to now it's Red Note. It's also another Chinese
and Lemon.
spyware.
There's another one. A Lemon. Lemon's another one. Lemon's another one.
So easily influenced. See, this is what this is creating in our young generation's minds. Like,
Because it's
easily influenced.
Because everyone gets that instant, like they get their 15 minutes of fame. All it takes is to get that one viral video.
Yep.
And then it's become a fucking cesspool. If you go to I think I heard Tim say it earlier though, but if you go to Chinese TikTok, nobody's doing fucking Fortnite dances. It's all educational. It's all bettering society type shit. And then you come over here and it's brain rot.
Yeah, it is. It's complete chaos. Where do you think you think all that? I think they're going to funnel over into YouTube because these other platforms
it is going to.
not going to make no money there, and that's what people are going to be there for. And I think the real creators that are on TikTok making real big money, they're going to have to find another platform that's going to be willing to take them on and pay them. Like, I think it's either YouTube or Instagram
or Rumble.
I don't think their crowd's going to fit well on Rumble or X.
We'll see. The problem with Rumble is that it allows people that are a lot more open-minded, that are, willing to speak their mind, because you can't really do it on YouTube. God forbid you say one word and then the YouTube algorithm or the bots instantly delete your comments.
Yeah.
That started happening more now.
Facebook will get you out of there quick too. They're real quick to boot you.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
know, man.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
I was just gonna say last year I got banned off of fucking Facebook and Instagram just because I
Okay.
said a couple things, and then the algorithm was like, "We don't want this shit here," and I'm like, "Okay." As a fucking American, at least, I feel like whether you like what I say or not, it's the same whether I like what you say or not. It is what it
Yeah.
is, but we
Where,
should be allowed to
where are
say
we
what we
going to be
want
able?
to.
When are we able to have that final platform where anything goes, bro?
But we're never going to.
And like death and things like that not being shown,
Yeah.
I can even understand blood and gore, or like porn. I get that. But like, when can we finally just be able to come up here and speak and say exactly what we want to fucking say? I haven't seen a platform yet allow it. Not
Yeah,
one.
it's not going to be allowed.
They're not going to because
Because
anything
because of
goes means
minors.
anything.
Yeah. And you got minors and you can't control that. It becomes a public platform. Anybody can get on there. So I don't think that it's ever going to be possible to have that.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
because
see,
anything
this is
goes
where
means anything.
I want to say that it's very controversial, like in Florida, right? January 1st, Pornhub has been banned from Florida, right?
Okay.
And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, we can't watch your porn now." Yes and no. Two things, right? It's banned, but you need to ID verify yourself,
They did
which
that
for
here in
me,
Indiana too.
yeah, so I feel like if I need to upload my ID, that's kind of sketchy, but also at the same time too, I feel like this is just me speaking, this is my theory. I think that the reason why you need to verify the porn that you're watching is so that they can monitor who's watching the not good stuff
Yeah.
versus your normal stuff.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
should be the same with social platforming. You
Yes.
know, you like most platforms, like back in the day, MySpace was like you need to be at least like 13 or 14 to create a profile.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but obviously you had kids younger than that making profiles. They're just kind of verifying now. I don't think there's anything wrong with if you want to say what you want to say on this platform, that's fine. I feel like there should be like a verification process to prove that we're not vetting in, kids or people that aren't supposed to be
Absolutely.
here.
I'm here
Yeah.
for all of that. I'm here for all the anything that keeps our kids safe. That's number
Yep.
one. That's
Yes.
number one, man. So if like you have to go through certain steps to verify that you're this person or you're at least above 18 years old, I'm all for it.
Correct.
For it, man. But at least let that be an American company that's getting our information, right?
Mhm.
And not a Chinese fucking TikTok app. They're funneling a lot of money through this app. A lot of cash, man.
Well, not just
I
that, but
think
there's
it's
also
too late.
companies here that they're selling that information to other
Yes.
countries. So those companies need to be watched as well.
Yep.
Yep. You say, Angie, you think it's too late?
I think it's too late because China actually owns so much of America. Like they own so
Yeah,
much
but we
land
can,
here,
Angie, we can
and
just we
companies.
can rip those deeds right up and throw them in the trash. It's China. We can do that. And I don't think it's the proper way to do it, I guess, but it's a start, right? Like Land Shed, they shouldn't be allowed to own like so many acres of land around military installations. Like this is where our military is, and then China owns land around it. Huh?
Well, let's talk about the
Right.
Chinese police stations that were established in New York a couple
Oh
years
yeah.
ago.
The hidden
Hello.
little police
Well, they
stations and
own.
shit they
That's
were running.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, they own so much of New York though. They own
They own a
like
lot of
Manhattan.
land
They
all
own
over
a
the
lot
United
of
States. And how is that
yeah,
possible?
but especially New York.
Well, they're doing it through third party companies. They're doing it through fronts. It's obvious they're frauding. I mean, they would not allow us to go there and buy a fucking thing. We can't even purchase a home half the time if you're American.
No, you can't.
But that land in New York that they own, I know that was done decades ago, like
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
up front. You know,
yeah. They're getting
LLC. Yeah.
LLCs and shit like that. That's a fact.
Yep. Yep.
Restricting
when they
crop
closed down
distribution
all of
is
the
a problem.
textiles and they closed down all the
Mhm.
textiles, everything that Americans could do, to support America because of cheap labor there. They just closed everything down here and basically made us dependent on whatever we're going to get from them.
Yeah.
But then it's racist
Yeah.
when we say when we want to focus on Americans. I remember in 2012, I voted for Ron Paul because he was an isolationist. And I was like, I mean, shit, I was younger back then. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with focusing on the American people. We've been the big brother to all these other countries for so many
Yep.
fucking decades, and
Mhm.
we've taken care of them. But guess what? Trump just said it too, just recently. Nobody's paid their dues.
No.
Nope.
Every
We've been
country in
taking
the
care of you
world
for
owes
so
us, bro.
fucking long, and you've given us nothing in return. And I mean, our fucking own country is burning us to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dude,
we
we
need fucking
patrol the
help.
oceans
Why do you
just so
think
there's
he's trying to
fair
take
trade.
Panama Canal? Why do you think
We
he's trying to take that back?
we as Americans patrol the oceans so that there is equal fair trade from country to country. So pirates don't take over fucking ships and shit. Like this is why America does this. It's not no one else in the world doing it except for in their little border. No, we're out there in the oceans doing it. Like
Fuck,
it's
this has never
time
made me more
we
proud to
start
be a Marine
making
vet.
fucking countries pay up, bro. I'm dead serious. I'm
Well,
with
why
you
do you
on this
think? Well, why do you think Trump's trying to take the Panama Canal? Not just for safety reasons, it's because 70 or 80% of our stuff is being imported and exported, but China, is running most of their stuff through there.
Yeah, we should have
And
kept
then,
Mexico to begin with. It was Americans to begin with.
That's a fact.
We should have
yeah,
kept. We should have kept it, man. We did the Indians wrong. The Indians were done wrong. The black folk were done wrong here. I think it's time that we just put all that shit behind us and move forward as Americans, bro.
yeah.
Seriously.
This will
Dead
provide
serious.
jobs. This will provide more money into the country. This will help. I mean, this will help a lot of things. If we just kept it American made. It's not being racist. It's not being against other countries. But it's time for us to take our country back and do it the right way.
Do you think it's too far gone? I mean, here's the problem with China, man. They don't really want to go to war with us because if you think about it, probably most of the money that country makes is through American import product or American export product.
Right.
I have to say it. I mean, everybody in the world buys Chinese made products, but mostly Americans. Mostly American. And to go to war with America, you would have to damn near for sure beat us. You would have to beat us for real. Like you'd have to be able to beat us. And I don't know, man. They got a lot of growing to do. I was watching something on like the clean bills and all this shit and how America's supposed to be clean and we're going into the clean generation. And they're like, fuck clean. China's getting ready to build 100 new coal plants. Like they don't give a fuck about being clean over there. They showed a fucking image of Chinese people waking up in the morning and going outside, and the air is so smoggy that they had a big screen showing a fake sunrise, bro. Like they don't give a fuck. And then all of these high energy product things we're buying, like solar panels and all this shit to move into the new age and be all fucking energy clean. It's Chinese made products.
Not just that. If you go to India, I'm not lying to you, dude. You have thousands of people literally nut to butt, shoulder to shoulder, hand digging trenches. They're hand digging up lithium. That is 1,000 times more toxic and destructive to our ozone layer than any fucking kind of like pollution that we've created as humans.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man.
That's
It is,
crazy.
man.
And is an additional power that you're granting to an already bloated government that mismanages everything. So you're saying that they
China
are now
is not afforded the protections of the United States Constitution.
No.
Sir, again,
Yes.
it's thought it's thought distribution.
Look,
No, they don't get to do that here. Sorry. China does not get to thought distribute in America. What are we not getting and understanding, dude? Like this dude clearly has investments in keeping his TikTok going. I get it, bro. It's probably your only income. I get it. But bro,
We'll just
you're
make this,
arguing
like the simple. If you can, the argument, TikTok has successfully convinced Americans to argue for constitutional protections on Chinese interests.
Wow.
You could say that any social media platform.
I'm in favor of banning all trade from China. I'm in favor of Donald Trump saying
pay them back first.
30% tariff on all goods made in China, no matter what. I'm in favor of severing diplomatic ties with China. I don't care. China has no rights in this country. China should not be manufacturing American goods, selling them back to us, made by slave labor and gutting our culture and our economy. And so that they would have any interest in our media space that targets young people, that is, in my opinion, an act of war.
Sir, and I
Thank
agree with
you.
the farmland. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Look, man, I don't agree with everything Tim says. I'm not one of those people that just agree with people because they have good points here and good points there. Tim's wrong a lot of the times, I think. But this dude does know his shit, bro. He's been in the media game for a very long time. And I respect people that put their work in. That's just what it is. So you can't knock the dude for knowing his fucking shit.
But owning land is minimal because
this
one guy,
it's more influential.
One federal agent with a piece of paper and no weapon can take that land in 2 seconds.
Thank you very much. There you go. So fuck the land
He
right
can
now.
fucking try.
Yeah. Let's just go
cross my front yard filled with
influence.
tannerite, baby.
What's that?
I said cross my front yard with fucking tannerite. You'll be playing
Yeah.
hopscotch. Try and take what's mine.
That's right, dude. I mean, we could take the land back. That's not a problem. They have influence over 100 million of our people in America, bro. All right, get that first.
Sure. Yeah, we could do it ourselves if we wanted to. But having Chinese control the minds of youth, I mean, I give zero Fs.
But that's a stretch to just be like they are controlling the minds of because people choose to go on this platform and consume information with their own free will. The content that I watch on TikTok doesn't suggest anything, and even if it did.
Even if
to say that my free will is determined by the algorithm and I don't have agency to choose what I want to watch or not want to watch. I could also not have an account at all.
Sure, no one's saying you don't.
You know, if what you were saying was true, Coca-Cola would never buy an ad again.
Bro.
Not sir.
That sounds
Bobby,
like
you don't-
indoctrination.
Look at the lame troll, bro. Like that's as lame as it gets, wasn't it? Was that lame or what, bro?
Then they should go to Willie or Brandy's channel. How about that?
Then that's
Go
where
over
they
there.
go, huh? Like, bye.
Yeah,
See ya.
do better.
Bye, honey. That's where you should go then, huh?
Yeah.
You know, you have your
Over
own, you have
there.
your own agency.
with
They
each other.
What you were
bamboozled.
saying was true. Coca-Cola would never buy another advertisement again.
Wait another 20 minutes.
Explain that to me.
Do you know how much it costs to run videos in front of people on the internet?
Yeah. I have an elaborate understanding of it, in fact.
So
Zero.
China has a multi-billion-dollar interest in determining what videos you get to see because advertising works.
Okay.
Why do you think you
So
always
that
get those
means
prompts on your phone?
advertising
when
is
you
just
open an app, it's like, do you want to allow what is it, the ad
Access.
something?
Yeah. Yeah.
I always
You
say
wanna
don't allow.
somebody from Facebook. You want it to allow to your contacts.
Fucking nothing, dude. I don't want shit
Yeah, bro. You
tracking
don't
me.
know. Don't allow.
I don't want my fucking advertisements targeted towards me because you know what? If I want something that fucking bad, I'll go look it up and then I'll go buy it. I don't need something shoving it down my face 24/7.
That's what they do too, bro. I literally was standing in front of a TV one day and then I come outside of Walmart and get on my phone and they showed me a fucking ad of the TV I was standing in front of. No bullshit.
Dang. Dude.
No bullshit, bro. I was like, what in the fuck? How in the God's green earth do they know I was even thinking about this TV, bro?
That is weird
Dude,
too. I
It's
know.
so weird.
I mentioned
It
French
baffles
dips
my
the
brain.
other
Still
day
to this
or a
day
couple.
baffles my brain on how in the fuck that they knew that, bro. It had to be some kind of fucking location thing or something in the electronics segment. It was the same exact fucking television, man.
Do you
It's
remember
your
when they
location,
said
but
that
it's
the
also tracking
Xbox
the
and
thing.
PlayStations were being actually mic'd in too? They had like microphones. You had to literally pull your internet out of the back of the box so they wouldn't get into your shit.
The mic listening to you and shit. What could have possibly knew that I was standing in front of that TV? It still baffles me to this day, man. I walked right outside Walmart, bro. Got on my phone, waiting around, wait for these people to get done. And sure enough, I get an ad for that exact TV I was just hooking dead at. It
They
blew
put
my
a
mind.
chip in you, AD.
They got a chip in me.
Yes. It's
Well, shit, a
directed
few weeks
energy
ago,
weapons.
I was like, man, I could go for a French dip, right?
Yeah.
And to this day, almost every other ad that plays on my fucking YouTube.
Wow.
Actually, I only have YouTube. Actually, on YouTube, it's like Firehouse Subs. Any other fucking restaurant that has a French dip, it's like try our new amazing French dip. And dude, I said this fucking 3 weeks ago. Why are you still on this shit? But the fact that I brought it up and now that's all I'm getting targeted ads for, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start talking about car insurance now. Do you
No
hear that,
shit.
Alexa? Car
Yeah.
insurance, car insurance, car insurance. I promise you tomorrow I'm going to wake up in the morning. The first ad I see on YouTube, all the general will say sometime.
No shit, bro.
Just presenting an idea to a person that they can choose to purchase.
Selling an idea.
Okay, so then we ban the selling of ideas that we deem wrong.
We just say China shouldn't have the ability to do that in this country at scale.
And then what country is next?
Iran, Russia, North Korea.
And then what? And then what comes after that?
Whoever declares war on us.
People that are anti-government, perhaps.
That's not a country.
People that are anti-establishment.
That's not a
No,
country.
communism has been our biggest enemy since World War II, and we didn't finish it.
Yeah,
I forget. It was Lyndon Johnson. Johnson said, "Let's go finish it," and everyone in the cabinet said, "No, leave it alone." Communism continued in Russia, and then it spread back out into the Middle East. Oh, not Middle East. Asia.
Middle East,
and now it's
always big.
expanding.
Yeah.
It's like,
That was our
there's
biggest
not an
enemy
income
back
tax.
then.
It's only going to be on the rich. And then, oops, the rich is $1 million. Oops, the rich is
Slippery
100,000.
slope goes
Oops,
in,
it's everybody.
every direction.
Yeah, so
you can choose to allow China to send Dylan Mulvaney to children, or you can say, no, China, you can't do that. Pick one.
I don't know that Dylan Mulvaney on a social media application to human persons that have agency that determine that you're saying like these people are too stupid to understand the information that's being presented to them, and thus daddy government must ban it. Admittedly, you're giving more power to a bureaucracy that is
wasn't
limiting
Dylan
thought
Mulvaney
distribution.
exposed for like beating his girlfriend or being a weirdo?
Yeah, he was he was gay, then he was trans, then he was this, and Bud Light threw him on the fucking cover, and then that's why they went through that whole fucking fiasco with Bud Light. That's why everybody was like banning Bud Light. Because all the real people stood up and was like, nah, homie, we don't go for this. And they damn near boycotted Bud Light out of business with that.
Well, I never said anyone was too stupid. I said influence operations work. That's why Coca-Cola buys ads. Okay, if you think Coke isn't successfully running advertisements and those ads appear because they don't know what to spend their money on, I got a bridge to sell you. So the issue is when China, for instance, wants to run, they run Xinhua in the United States as well. And to a certain degree, you want to run a company like that, fine. We're talking about the scale of what TikTok is and the stranglehold they have over a large amount of young people.
And
the
the
slippery
money.
slope goes in every direction. If we say we will do nothing, we are saying the Chinese Communist Party can effectively control what 112 million people in the U.S. get to see. And they're going to send them things that are bad for U.S. interests. If we say we want China to divest, the argument is sooner or later the U.S. will ban other countries. Yep. And there is no such thing as a happy medium. The slippery slope goes in every direction.
It's a fact.
I elect that China not be allowed to run influence operations at this scale.
I think if you had a very specific outline of what are the things that any
jumping in and out,
thought
they keep
distribution
running in and out, bro. So much our views are just jumping, bro. I
platform.
ain't had 20 people in here solidly, but yet the views are fucking in the hundreds already. Keep going, baby. Keep running it up.
has to follow. And all American companies included would have to adhere to these specific guidelines, and TikTok has to adhere to those same guidelines. Then fine, but to specifically isolate
Here's
TikTok,
what it is, bro. Here's exactly what it is. It's propaganda.
Yep.
It's politically pushed propaganda based on a free speech nation. And I'm sorry, you just can't target a free speech nation because they're free speech. Definitely.
Or China or whatever. And I think that, look, I don't know.
The issue is Americans have a right to their opinions, and the Chinese people don't have a right to opinions in America.
Facts.
The Chinese communists, right? So if you're an American,
ideas are ideas. I don't know.
If you're an American and you're a leftist, you're allowed to say you're a leftist and promote leftist ideas. If you're conservative, same thing. If you are Chinese, you have no right to distribute those ideas in this country. That's
Can I just say,
English people, British people, all these
fucking, all these foreigners try to tell us how to run
Tim
our
just
country.
said this
Their
perfectly.
words mean nothing to us.
But it's
they
fine
can
if they're
do it.
speaking.
Right.
They're not running one of the largest social media platforms with no accountability, no transparency.
Yeah.
It's to all of our young people.
They're on a much more
Although
level.
they simultaneously send their children math and science.
Yeah.
So
like, that
force them
is
to-
clearly an act of war.
I don't
do you
think
about
so.
that differently? How like they give their kids 2 hours a day or whatever, they do math and like,
fine.
but they let the
Hey,
American
can I,
people
say
like
something
do
real quick?
whatever the F's going on around there. Like, come on.
Okay, then write into the law that any social media application
But that
can't
gives
be
government
pursued for more than 2 hours.
Gives big government daddy, like you said, more
Exactly.
control.
I'm all against the government having more authority to censor ideas.
But that's giving government more authority by telling government daddy that you can't, you have to give the kids 2 hours a day.
I don't want that. That's what you're saying. I don't want that.
No, I'm saying that's what China does. And you're saying,
yeah, who cares what China? I don't care.
Oh, we don't care. Okay.
I don't care what they do with their people. That's I mean, I care.
You care what they do with our people.
So once again, this is a liberal principle of
okay.
We will let our enemies use tactics against us that we ourselves do not use. I don't agree with that. I take more of a post-liberal approach where you have to have some assessment that foreign adversaries are seeking to destroy you through subversive means, and we set limiting guidelines on how these things are to operate in this country. And so, that being said, TikTok as a business can survive. The jobs can exist. The servers can exist so long as China is not owning a portion of it. There's ways they can loophole around that, but I think this is a simple way to say we as the United States do not allow foreign adversaries to influence at scale our people.
I think that is a reasonable position to have. However, China already has a multitude of. Go ahead, buddy.
All right. So as a first generation Italian American, right? My family came here from Italy, right? Whatever their viewpoint from Italy was changed when they came here because like I say that I'm Italian, but I say I'm an American first. My roots are Italian.
Right.
Okay. I'm tired of this bullshit where all these fucking people are coming from these oppressed third world countries, coming over here, trying to impose their views from the country that they escaped from. That's fucking bullshit, dude. We're fucking Americans. And I think that the one thing that a lot of these people prey on is that we're a newer nation. We're less than 300 years old. You've had China, you've had Russia, right? You've had England, like the Middle East, that area type shit, right? They've been established for thousands of years, right? So listen, they were us at one point. They were taking in all these people from different areas, and they said, you know what? We're going to stay here. We're going to become these people, right?
Yep.
And then they flourished into what they are.
Yep.
America's new, so a lot of these fucking jackholes are taking advantage of that bullshit. Children, knock it off.
We industrialized so fast. We industrialized super fast. Like we left a lot of these countries in the dirt. We did. And
you know what I love?
And that's what China's doing right now is trying to industrialize very fastly.
You know what I love? I love the fact that everyone in this community and up on this panel has more than a third grade education. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not knocking third graders here.
I love that. No, I'm not knocking third graders. I love the fact that, that all these adults here, have more than just a third grade, education and, the knowledge and the minds that we can learn from each other. So I applaud that.
Just a civil conversation.
Yes, just a civil conversation. I love it.
I love it.
You could be right. I could be wrong. I could be right. You could be wrong. I'm not trying to fight you about my shit, but also I don't tolerate the hard-headedness when it comes to something like that,
Yeah, we're open-minded. Yeah, we're open-minded. We understand.
I'm not pushing my views on you. Like, I'm not here to do that.
Yeah.
Like my views don't mean shit to you. I know that.
And we respect each other's opinions and stuff,
And we can have that dialogue.
Yeah,
I'd like to make a comment about the thing that
you can't make comments on here.
About warfare.
AP again.
I've always got the fucking dude. Okay, so he mentioned warfare, and he's like, why would you want them to use the same tactics against us if we're not allowed to do it back, right?
Yeah, that'd be warfare, right?
In World War I, right? Germany complained about us using trench shotguns to sweep trenches. They were complaining because shotguns were too destructive. At the same time, they were using mustard gas to sweep the battlefield.
Yeah.
Right? But near the end of the war, America started using mustard gas, but it wasn't mustard gas we produced.
Right.
It was produced by another country, and we just utilized it. It's the same thing in World War II, where we couldn't defeat the Japanese by taking out all of the Japanese, so we just dropped a big fucking bomb on them and made them want to quit.
Which fucked us up more than anything. I don't think people. Sorry, let me not cut you off. I'm sorry.
It's the same shit. Like it.
Yep.
You can't have it.
Man.
You can't have it both
I hate
ways.
when people start a fight and then they try to tell you how to fight.
Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't punch me in the dick just because I punched you in your head when you were not looking. Like what the fuck are you doing? But like the whole thing with it is,
Sarah,
like,
are you smarter than a fourth grader?
rules for thee, not for me. That's what everybody goes by, and they don't understand that they're not the ones in control. It's the same thing with like China. Their version of TikTok doesn't have the brain rot. It has educational shit because they want to better their kids. They push brain rot and promote like stupid prank trends and bullshit like that to make us work.
Yeah.
But we can't do that to them because we don't have a backwards into their network. We don't have that back end thing where we can promote stuff in their thing. They are
They don't
totally
allow it.
separate from that. Exactly.
They don't even have Google, bro.
Rules for the.
I mean, I give him that. That's a good. That's a good way of
No,
teaching.
it's not. It's really
I mean,
not,
educational wise.
because you're suppressing the information that the people of China could be getting. So the people of China are people of China that come out of China, they're like, wow, look at the earth amongst us.
It's kind of
They've
like
been so fucking
North Korea.
Yeah.
North Korea doesn't have any internet access. They don't know about the other world. They think Kim Jong-il invented the burrito, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
They also
They
think
do.
he can't poop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. They do, bro. When people leave China, they feel free,
That's
bro.
a fictitious thing, you know?
Yeah.
Freedom
Freedom
isn't
so bad, man.
freedom isn't in the mind, it's what you do in real life. But when you have a mind control over your people, only showing them what they want to, like what the government wants them to see, you don't
With
have
so
the
many
freedom of expression.
restrictions as well. Like to even leave the country and go to the US, you have to be like, you have to go through like a whole background check and shit to make sure you're not going to bring any information back with you. You're not taking information. Like it's pretty wild in North Korea.
To all
Yeah,
other
you can't
aspects
just
of
go up
American
there
policy.
and
All
just
of those, how is
start
that?
news on them. You have to go through loops and loops and loops, months and maybe even years before you can actually do any kind of news or anything on anything in North Korea.
Fallacy. Because we're not arguing farmland or Hollywood. We're arguing one thing.
What about the
now.
NBA?
Same. You
What
keep
about
We
making the
all
same argument,
agree
though.
on that.
Okay.
The fallacy is
Did
when
he
I
just bring
say
up the
X and you say
NBA?
Y, we're not talking about Y. You are right about Y. Let's figure out whether this ban in a bill right now should be implemented. If the argument is, why don't we ban them from owning farmland? Agreed. We'll do that.
Amen.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay. I don't know. I just think that look, I didn't read the bill. I didn't read the bill because I didn't know that we would be specifically talking about
This
it
guy's a
except for
straight
7 months ago.
fucking douche.
No, I read it 7 months ago when it first came out. And to me, it appeared to have a lot of vagaries that could affect all types of other websites and other unnamed countries and ultimately thoughts.
Dude, giving China a free speech app is not gonna work here, bro. Sorry.
It just specifically says China,
Yes.
TikTok.
It says North Korea, Russia, Iran, and China.
Okay.
Iran or Iran? I call it Iran.
Iran.
And if that was passed, wouldn't a modification to include some
Iran,
thought
same
process or
difference.
country be a lot simpler?
The reference,
Add-
the
More like
reference
I
in the
blew
bill
up.
refers to another, a separate bill that pertains to acquiring materials from adversaries, acquiring or distributing, and it lists 4 adversarial countries. The TikTok bill says a covered entity is one of those that is part of the adversaries listed in 18 USC, blah, 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 blah. It
refers back to these countries listed in this bill. So it says
Just like to answer Ill's question there. No, they're
I was
not.
just about to
There was a tourist recently that got sentenced to death for having a Bible.
Yeah.
He stole a poster. So
yeah, you can go to all these countries. It's just you'll be watched and followed. Trust me.
Your cameras, your phone, everything. They're all over that.
Yep, it's not gonna be just a good trip. I'm telling you, a trip
No,
to
it's
China
not.
is gonna be a fucking happy trip. You're gonna be followed. They're gonna wonder what you're doing.
Especially if you go to the DMZ. If you go to the DMZ, they'll let you, but you're going in there pretty much butt naked because they watch everything, every move you make.
if Congress wants to amend any one of these bills, notably the root bill, which identifies adversarial nations, to add another adversarial nation, that would actually affect any other bill attached to it. So it wouldn't just affect this one bill. But also, Congress does have the authority, the power, and nay, the privilege to determine who our adversaries are. That's what Congress is supposed to do. And I believe as a country, you need a governing body, should be Congress, to determine who our enemies are and to declare war when need be. In this instance, saying, foreign adversaries shouldn't be running an app like this. So what does it specifically say? ByteDance, TikTok, their subsidiaries, entities controlled or owned by them, or it specifically says foreign controlled of these four nations, blah, 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 that has a website or app. What does it say? A website, desktop application, mobile application, augmented or immersive technology that, one, permits a user to create an account or profile to generate, share, and view text, video, images, real-time communications. Two, has more than 1 million monthly active users with respect to at least 2 of the 3 months preceding the date on which the determination of the president is made. Three, enables 1 or more users to generate or distribute content that can be viewed by other users
There's
on the website,
rules.
desktop
They got
application, mobile,
100
et cetera.
million viewers.
And then 4, enables 1 or more users to view content generated by other users. So there's exclusions listed in it. They get TikTok got 165 days to file a challenge, which they did, and it appears that they've lost. It was the federal courts upheld this, and the Supreme Court largely seemed like they didn't see why China would have
And Supreme Court just upheld that ban today.
First Amendment rights in the United States, and there's nothing barring Congress from saying foreign adversaries can't operate this way. If the president makes a determination under this code as it pertains to website following these four criteria, they can.
So here's the thing, AP and Chance and Lucky. All y'all can answer this. Do you think the president is going to go against Supreme Court just to keep TikTok?
Yes.
It depends on if it gets bought out.
Yes, if it gets bought out. Yes.
So,
sorry, I'm pondering right now. Give me a
Can
second.
he?
I lost.
Can he?
I lost my train of thought. God damn it! I lost the train of thought. I had something to bring up. Oh, so I read a news headline, right, and it was like Biden not to challenge Supreme Court ban to leave it up to President Trump. I'm just like, he doesn't even know what the fuck a TikTok is. Like, how the fuck do you think he knows what TikTok is? Like,
Yeah.
you think he's really in his right mind to challenge a Supreme Court ruling?
Well, he also said that he wasn't going to pardon Hunter, and
then he
now
did.
maybe the last 2 brain cells that man has, sure, he put that together because he's like, oh, my son, whatever.
It wasn't even that, bro. It was the last 14 years. It wasn't the fucked up shit that he did with China. It was the last 14 years. Anything he did prior to that. So it wasn't even like, oh yeah, he did this thing, he shouldn't have done that. It was, he's done a lot of fucked up shit, and I've got a lot of shit from it. So I'm not gonna challenge that. I'm just gonna say, hey, the last 14 years, you can fuck off at that. Like it's not.
Now, I want to remind you, back in the 80s, 90s, I think it was the 90s, early 90s, Biden had a Congress meeting, right? Where he said that he wanted to wiretap every American to see if they were having protected or unprotected sex. It's goofy, but you can literally look it up on YouTube. It's for real. It's for real. And he looks exactly how he does now, just with black hair, but with the same widow's peak receding hairline.
Yeah, I think I knew some about this before.
I'm not saying he did, but you know, as much as we want to bash Biden and Kamala, which, sorry if you guys want to flame me, I don't like the bitch, but
I don't like her either.
I feel like
Harris, yeah, no, she's a bitch.
It's not them that is making the country worse. They're like the henchmen for. We've already sold this country out to so many different other countries, right? That have allowed every other country to probe us, to kind of fuck with us, because we thought we were on top of the world, and then some people were like, hey, I know a loophole, right? I got you, I'll bring you in. And I mean, this shit's just selling out the country. I think that, I mean, just today too, Biden also pardoned what was it, like 10,000 drug dealers?
Yep.
Yeah.
And people are saying, oh no, they're drug users. No, they're drug dealers. And they say, oh, well, they were nonviolent. Correct. But they were the same people that were putting fentanyl in your fucking cocaine, in your fucking heroin, in your marijuana, everything.
There was a fully Democratic parole board in Pennsylvania, or was it Maryland? It could have been, it was somewhere over on the East Coast. Let me say that. I don't know what state it was, to be honest. I think it was Maryland or Massachusetts, maybe. But they released a sex offender on a second time offending that was an illegal citizen, dude. They released him because they were scared he was going to get deported if not.
No, send his ass back to his fucking country, dude.
I'll do you one better. Put a fucking bullet in his brain.
Yeah.
How about that? How about
Why
that?
are
You
we-
know, like,
that dude should have been grabbed right then and deported. Okay, you're
Here,
released.
here.
from prison
Oh, cheers
now.
to that.
Let's get you out of here. Instead, they released this man.
two comments. One on the wiretap thing, and then one on the pardoning thing. The wiretapping thing. We have to protect America's pussies. Like, come on now. And
Yeah, I'm all
the other
here
one,
for protecting the pussies, guys.
protect the pussies. Yeah.
And the penises, damn it.
Yeah,
Or
protect
you
our
can
penis.
grab them with consent.
Yeah,
Wait,
we
wait,
can grab them.
So one of the people that Biden, when he went on his big pardoning spree from death row, right? He was like, "I'm going to end death row. Death row is not going to be a thing." Blah blah blah. Didn't do anything with it, and then when he's about to get out of office, pardons like 30 people that were on death row. One
Yeah.
of those people raped and murdered a mom of 3, right? And he gave him life without parole instead of the death sentence. He's been on the death sentence.
I'm for releasing drug. I'm for releasing drug dealers. I really am. Here's the thing. I'm not for releasing drug dealers like the ones that got
with marijuana
10 years or nothing. You know what I mean?
I'd be cool with
Like,
weed, but I mean, if you're giving
here's
me
the
fentanyl,
thing, though, man.
fuck you.
The problem
dude.
with drugs is people
Yeah.
choose to use the drug, and that's the problem with me. People choose to go buy drugs, and so the drug dealer to me really isn't at fault. Here's the problem. I think it is. I think drug dealers should be caught and put in jail. You are putting harm on our streets. But should a drug dealer get life in prison for just selling drugs?
No.
It depends on if they were
Depends.
maliciously.
Not pothead, not
I
marijuana.
mean,
if
we're
they're
talking
if
about
they're
maybe 2 pounds of fucking meth, like fucking distributing it across state lines. Because I know a guy right now that got life in federal prison for like 2 pounds of meth, bro. Just going across state lines with it.
it depends.
But you know
because
what you're doing, though. Let me not expose myself, because if I'm tapped right now,
No,
I used
you're
to
all
do
good.
some things when I first got out of the Marine Corps, right?
Right.
But I willingly knew what I was doing.
Yeah,
but I
is
knew
it that
also that
bad,
what I
though?
was doing, the outcome, I feel like I should still be held accountable.
But that I agree being held accountable, bro. But like for that long though, for doing something that someone else bought from you openly and willingly.
But if I openly sold you poison, knowing that if you took it and you killed yourself, right? Should
that's
I
a kind
not
of a
be
conscience
charged
thing.
for like murder? And should I not be given a life sentence because I took a life?
At least
it's-
manslaughter. At least manslaughter.
Yeah, that's sketchy to me though, man. I really do, because you got, like Kevin said, look at all these pharmaceutical companies that are addicting people. Like these are companies ran under the strict jurisdictions of our laws. I mean,
80 when it comes to the whole like drug dealers and prison thing, I think it comes down to malicious intent. The people that purposely cut it with fentanyl, the people that purposely put other things into it to addict the people to their
Okay.
own substance. Like
Here's
that's a
the thing.
different
Ill
thing.
Love said it.
That's a different thing.
There's a difference between the drug dealer corner boy and a distributor. Okay, I say, okay, let's clear that up. The distributor should get some time. 40 years, maybe 50 years. My homie just got done doing 20 for selling crack cocaine back in the day. He just got out from doing 20. He's already back in prison again on a violation, but who knows? But he did 20 flat, bro. And that's a sentence. That's a big sentence just for selling crack cocaine on the fucking block.
But
Like,
that's fine if you're selling
that's
me
fine
coke.
too, and I'm
But
agreeing
if
with
you
that. But
fucking
should you
cut my
get
shit
life
with fentanyl
sentences
knowing
behind
that
it?
you cut it,
Like it's the malicious intent behind it.
Yeah.
Like you're,
correct, AP.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
malicious to sell drugs. I do. Especially things that addict and wreck families and all that. I think that's all malicious. But like to get life in prison for it is
that's where you
taking up
change
a lot
it
of
from
resources that I think we could put people that actually do sex crimes, people that do murders, people that do real harsh crimes, man.
That's where you get into the gray area where you get from like someone who is purposely doing it to somebody who's like a street pharmacist.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
if you're purposely
But
cutting
do
your
you know how many
cocaine
people
with
that are on the
fentanyl,
street selling drugs that just get 35 years just for selling to a cop? 35 years that our resources are being used up, that our tax-paying dollars are thrown in
you'd
there.
have to end the war on drugs, which you can't do because of Mexico, China making all the fucking opiates and shit like that. You
China's
can't do
making
that.
the and the meth.
You have to break everything down. You can't block like every single
I
vehicle
know.
coming in through
That's
the
why
border.
I'm saying that you shouldn't give them all that much time. There
So
should be a rapid turnaround from it.
it's so like widespread. You just can't tackle it in one bill.
Oh, I know. Well, we got way off topic, but that was good.
Issue a report to
That was good
Congress,
shit.
for which Congress can then make a declaration that this other website
That was
operating
good
like
shit.
TikTok in a similar fashion would also be forced to divest from one of these 4 nations. At that point, they would get 90 days to file action to challenge that. So it's not a ban. The only thing that would happen is if this goes through on Sunday, TikTok will be forced to remove, well, not TikTok, Apple and Google would be forced to remove TikTok from the App Store. The apps could still appear on their websites. You go to tiktok.us and click download. It'll go right to
So for Android users, it's going to be very easy. For Apple users, it's going to be a little bit tougher.
Yep.
Apple users are going to suffer big time.
You'd have to jailbreak the phone in order
Yep.
to
Or
install
just
third-party
don't update the
applications.
app
And then,
from here on
Once
out.
you jailbreak,
Yeah.
you can't update your phone no more.
Well,
You
I'm
can.
just saying, if you have the TikTok app and you plan to keep it, don't update it.
Yeah.
it all comes down to what are you willing to allow and what are you willing to give a pass to. Okay.
I don't think letting Chinese control our information is any of that, bro.
And that's the other thing. Gia brings up a good point. Using a VPN, putting yourself in a different country. But the problem with that is that your phone is linked to an email address and it's linked to you as a person because you pay for it. You have to use a debit card that has your name on it or a credit card. And you could probably use a fucking Visa card that's like a gift card, but you'd have to do that every single time you go to pay your bill.
Yeah.
It breaks down into this little thing where you're just like,
you're constantly trying to make up, and then it's hard to even keep it updated.
exactly. You have to keep a cover for your cover so your cover doesn't get covered by a different cover, and you keep on coming up with like some different way to subvert things. But in the end, all you're doing is making a web for yourself. You're making
Now we get you, Chance. You're good, bud.
a twisted little back and forth, and I don't know. It comes down to
they make perks still. They make perks.
No. So I'm down here.
The perks
not
in the
docking
streets.
myself.
Hey,
I'm in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
About a straight over this corner store.
Uh-huh.
Which is always monitored by JSO, which I also don't trust.
Right.
These guys, they're always selling perk 30s. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not a pill popper. Okay. I
Right.
like acid. I like doing acid more than mushrooms. And I smoke my occasional weed. All
Right.
right. But all these guys up here, they're like perk 30s. Right.
And that's
One of the guys
fair,
I
bro.
work with, he's like, hey, if anyone down here offers you a perk 30, he's like, first off, they don't make perks like that anymore. And if they're selling you a perk 30, it's not Percocet.
fentanyl. It's fentanyl. That's
Yeah.
probably a pressed pill. That's a fact. You gotta watch
Phone, but
all
not on the
your
iPhone.
pills now, bro. And back in my day when I was growing up, man, you didn't have to do that.
Well,
you didn't have to do that, man.
back in your day, they didn't have pill presses. Like you couldn't just put some powder in a little fucking press and
Yeah.
just stamp it yourself.
Yeah.
You had to rely on big pharma. You had to rely on other people just like selling prescriptions off and other shit like that. But nowadays, where you can just go and buy, exactly. You can
I
just
wasn't
go
around
and,
for the Quaalude days. I'm not that old.
you can just go and buy a pill press on Amazon. It's not even that hard anymore.
I know.
And the majority of that's
You
made
can
by
make.
China.
They got these little pocket presses, bro. You just put the powder in it and squeeze it together, and makes a pill each time. Each fucking time, dude.
And
You
if
could
you
do
want to,
one at a fucking time.
and if you want to like dig into that deeper, now they're doing things where you can have like images on them. So like you have a smiley face on it.
Donald
So
Trump and shit on it.
No,
Like
no,
it's
no.
like-
So it's more appealing to someone that's younger. They see an image that's like, oh, this
Mhm.
isn't something that'll destroy my life. It's a happy face. How can that destroy my
Mhm.
life? And they pop pills, pop pills, pop
Because
pills.
iPhone's problem, not anyone else's. But you could still get on Android. Instead, TikTok said, no, screw you guys. We are going to shut our company down to spite this law. They could just...
They're going to shut down? Whoa. So TikTok's planning to shut down.
Kevin,
That's even
Oh.
more ironic.
The-
Because, the same time that we said, hey, we want to cut the bill off,
yeah,
they can't spy on us no more. I said bill, I meant to
Yeah.
say app. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
This goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the back end of things, how things would
Yeah,
look.
they don't
if you
want
had
us to see
got
all the
into it
manipulation
and
that's been
seen all
done.
the shit.
Yeah.
Kevin, the benefit would be that you have
Hey,
a platform
presidency, you can
that
suck my dick from the back. How about that?
the benefit of keeping TikTok around would be you would have a platform that can compete with YouTube, with Instagram, with Facebook. It's
Yeah,
all
it's
about
rotted too
capitalism.
many fucking kids.
It's all about capitalism.
I think they're just mining our information and going after our kids with TikTok, man. I truly do. They weren't even on Trump's dick until this time around, and I think they did that to get on Trump's. Like,
What was that? What was that one little like I don't know, the gremlin looking toy that they said that China had cameras in it, or they were spying on us to them? Oh, what is that? They look like little gremlins.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Why not? And now it says something to me that a
what
company
was it
says
called?
we won't divest from China. Why not? I thought it was about just doing business, right?
Yeah.
You just want to run business? Why wouldn't you divest from China? And then they say, and we would rather shut the whole thing down than do so. Sounds to me like this is a weapon against the American people.
Hey, dude, let me tell you something, man. The amount of money that TikTok is making at this point, why would you want to just shut down now that America's pulling the cord on you? Like, why would you just want to shut down, bro? The amount of funds that flows through TikTok is unreal right now. And it's only kind of blowing them up even more, dude. All this news and shit with TikTok is only helping their platform if they do stick around.
And American children
will
and not
say
anything
something
else.
real quick, AD.
Well, that's it.
Go ahead, bud.
This you can compare this to the same thing. When Daniel Larson went to jail, right? All the Daniel Larsoners went to the Cyrax people, tried to get on the Cyrax shit. So all of your NPC TikTokers that like, oh, thanks for the like, thanks for the rose, thanks for the galaxy, whatever fucking tips they have on TikTok. It's gonna come over to YouTube.
It is. It's gonna be here. They're coming. YouTube's already implemented, bro, the scroll screen shit. They've already did it.
But that was to compete with TikTok.
Yeah, that was to compete because remember, they started it right when TikTok was about to get banned last time. Remember? That's when this all rolled out. Was the last TikTok ban.
This is what everything boils down to, right? This is a political ideology, capitalism, right? Being manipulated by a different political ideology, communism.
Communism. Yeah, and they're
It's
doing
a-
it
it's
by
a
way of
negotiation.
media, and that's not going to be happening in America, bro. It shouldn't. Not by such mass media. I don't think so. I don't think it's fair. Not.
Position.
That's not fair.
No,
if I-
we should be the
It was the Furby.
You would have.
You guys remember the Furby?
I remember.
Yeah,
the Furby.
yeah, and they hooked up the Furby to the AI, and the AI said that the Furbies were infiltrating homes and shit.
Oh, they said there was cameras in Nintendo games, Nintendos that were being produced, Nintendo games. There was all kinds of shit that was all coming from out of the Nintendo camp, dude. I remember all that. And I was
Well, the Furbies, they had recording devices inside of them, so they can listen to all of these conversations from everybody.
Yeah, I
But do you
remember
know
all
where
that.
this deviated from?
Appreciate you, Kevin.
Is when they first started like the whole AI shit.
Mhm.
The two computers that
How-
could talk to each other.
Oh, IBCM, not IBCM, ICM,
ICBM.
Gia?
I was thinking intercontinental ballistic missile for some
have
reason.
more leverage by getting the people to speak up about it, which would be what would happen as a result of you doing that. So it puts you in a better negotiating position in the public to do that.
The reason TikTok is shutting down is according to the rumors, okay, because for legal reasons, they want to offend as many TikTok users as possible, with the blame being on the U.S. government.
Yeah,
that's right.
That seems reasonable.
No,
that's so politically fucking good though. Like,
why fight a country directly when you can get a country to fight itself?
No shit. Bro. Like, let's piss everybody off at its own government by taking away their money and blaming it on their government.
It's not because TikTok wasn't banned.
Well, you don't have to make something happen in order to make something happen. If you effectively strip every right that you have, and then who does it go to? It goes to Microsoft. Microsoft's never done anything bad to the American people. So
I can sue
does that
Microsoft.
solve it? Yeah, but again, like I said, if you can sue them in the United States, I don't know. I don't want to keep looping around.
Yeah,
like it's just simple. There's accountability for American companies. It's hard to get, but it's possible, and we did it with Twitter and Facebook.
I just think limiting thought distribution, blaming it on specifically this one thing right now is
we're not banning TikTok.
We were able to hold Facebook to the fire. We were able to hold Instagram, but that's Facebook. We were able to hold Twitter to the fire. YouTube's been held to the fire with Google. We put them in front of Congress, by God. What the fuck? We can't put TikTok in front of Congress? Nope. Where are they? Get them out of here, man.
I just think it's a risky precedent for limiting.
It doesn't limit thought to say divest from China.
Yeah.
For what reason do you think they should not divest from China?
Out of it.
It's not about them divesting from China. Well, that's all this bill does. That's like saying the income tax. That's all the income tax did. It's just a tax on the rich, and it's temporary, just to raise funds for the book.
No, I'm saying why are you arguing China should be able to own this company?
I'm not arguing that China should be able to own this company. I'm saying that there's nothing as permanent as a temporary government program. There's a lot of things that they said would be a thing that ultimately.
I asked you a question.
But I'm just saying
give me one reason why TikTok should not divest from China.
Again, I'm not saying that TikTok should not divest from China. I'm saying that to give them the power to force any company to divest from any country, specifically because of psychological subversion or whatever they want to blame right now, is a strange precedent.
What if we
to do it to anybody is fucking wrong. To do it to anybody is taking away our freedom of speech.
This is so woke, it's pitiful, dude. Like the pussy is fucking oozing from your blood. So you're like, come on, bro. You're sweating pussy up here.
He's so awake. He's so awake from yesterday. He's so awake that you could have
been doing meth for 3 days.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm serious, bro. Like, hear him? Like,
it's what it sounds like. It should be freedom of speech for that Chinese company to come in here to America and tell us how to fucking think. It should be freedom of speech.
Yeah, I know, but let's get China out of it. Like, divest. Like, get them out. Either buy them out or shut down. You're giving them an option. You're giving TikTok owners an option. The owner of TikTok can either sell the fucking company or go on about his business.
It's almost like a toddler mindset. Like, I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna fucking end everything.
Yeah.
What?
They know if it gets bought and it gets put in the wrong hand or the right hands. Let's say the right hands. That it's gonna get uncovered that China had something to do with all of the bullshit that's been going on.
So you could say that I'm gonna pause real quick, and they already have the power, right? In World War II, we had the U.S. Office of Censorship, which literally ran controls over all information in the country and all news outlets.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us would find that offensive by today's standards. This is much, 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 much lighter than that. It is simply saying we don't want China to own a massive media company in the United States.
Yeah.
What's one reason why that should be allowed?
Because thought should be allowed to be distributed, and you should be.
So what? You hear how woke it's getting? What? Because thought should not be stopped. And he's got Patriot on his coat, you guys.
And an American flag on his shoulder.
I told you, just look at this still right now of this guy. I can tell you he's a fucking douche.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be able to hear the wrong thing.
Americans should be able to hear the wrong thing, but China can't.
Yeah, but my family that lived through fascist Italy,
Yeah.
right? Which I think is hysterical when I hear the term fascist thrown around nowadays.
Yeah.
Fascism is, if I tell you, right, we can all agree right now that the sky is blue, right? But if I told you, hey, when you go out tomorrow, the sky's red, are you going to say yay or nay?
Yeah, don't shit in my mouth and tell me it's chocolate cake. Like,
Correct, right? Oh shit! Come on, you
People
fucking
have
railroads
agency.
me! God damn it!
I love it. Great fucking panel tonight, yo.
People have agency. You don't have to download TikTok.
Great
You don't have to
fucking
watch the
panel.
videos.
TikTok can still exist
Yeah.
if they divest from China.
Yeah, but I don't know this.
For what
Still
reason
exists.
should they not have to do that?
Because then you're saying that any company should have to divest from any other company, even though that bill
From
only
one of 4 countries.
well, for now, until it's 10 countries, till
So
it's
what?
50 countries, till it's a thought, till it's an ideology. Anybody that's anti-government is not allowed to post on these platforms. I'm just saying, you're just giving more power. You're just giving more power
every direction.
It's fine, but you're giving more power to a government that mismanages a lot of things that I think does a really bad job. If the only information that was true in the
You're
entire
giving the
world
power to the
only
government,
existed
not
on
us.
TikTok, we wouldn't be able to get it.
Yeah, so that's
So,
it's not.
probably
That's
not
not
good.
an argument for why one country should not be allowed to run this company.
It's not about the one country. It's about the principle as a whole for any country, for any thought to be limited.
Well, TikTok's not the only place in the world that has the right, accurate information. Which you just.
But what if it did?
Well, what if? What if I was like 5'10" and 500 pounds of muscle? What?
Look, a lot of the look. I don't want to go. We don't have to go down this road. But
Sorry.
I'm just saying, like
Saying.
a lot of the Israel Hamas conflict, a lot of that content is really circulating on TikTok.
Not before October 31st.
Fine, but nobody seemed to have seemed to have a problem with TikTok until the information was circulating specifically there. And then it's like, oh, now we have to.
No. TikTok flipped on October 31st and started showing nothing but Hamas content. It was all Israel.
It's the same as Twitch.
Yep.
Because
that's what they did.
Because Hassan, right? Hassan literally interviewed a Hamas terrorist.
Yes.
He literally interviewed a guy that was like, yeah, we were on this boat. We had AKs and we took over this other boat. And the fucking people that run Twitch had a panel where they gave him a fucking award.
Bro, TikTok is just as fake as any other goddamn thing.
A-Rap does it. A-Rap did it.
TikTok that acts like he's in a fucking tent in the middle of fucking like the sand and shit, and he's got these kids laying over in the corner that are asleep, and he's banging on cans with a fucking hammer, like. And this is how he's all poor and shit, and people are just donating away in the fucking channel, bro. I'm like, this is all fake, you guys. Those kids over there have been laying there for 5 fucking days, bro. They're fake. Those are fake children laying in the corner. This is all an act. He's over there and the music's playing real loud, and it's like sounding all sad and shit, and he's banging on cans, looking dirty and shit. I'm like, there's no way this is real. No way.
When I showed you my report page, right? When I posted it in the mod chat, right?
Yeah.
The majority of those ones that said sexual content were literally just content creators from India, like live streamers, laying on the floor acting like they were getting fucked.
Yes, that's what they're doing now. There's a chick that I just seen live yesterday. She went live for like 12 minutes and she laid sideways in a fucking string bikini, bro. And in the post said something like, "I'm so horny right now." I'm like, what the fuck? The fuck, y'all?
Wait,
now we have
to when was the first time the banning TikTok was proposed was before.
Well before.
Yeah. So
in answer to your question, yes,
got these
I want them
fucking
to ban
reviews.
TikTok, and I don't want not Hunter, Joe Biden to pardon it.
Dude, they got these views on TikTok where the camera's facing up and the chick looks like she's riding you and shit. I'm like, God damn, bro, this is supposed to like.
After so what
I'm
happened?
not that down bad. I promise.
Yeah, for real.
You shouldn't have mentioned that because that goes into a different subject of like it plays on the mental health of like incels, people that don't get women. They sit there and they act like, oh yeah, you can pretend this is you.
Have you seen the fucking
Holy shit,
bikini?
I've never thought about it like that.
Have you seen the women that get up there with their legs threw up over a chair and then like the bikinis like right up in their fucking pussy, bro, and their meat's hanging around the fucking bikini, and it's like they get one little click shot of it, and it's like, gosh damn, bro. Like these dudes
Like they lift their shirt up to their belly button and then they drop it and then they lift it up again, they drop it. Like they don't like show anything that's exactly explicitly, sexual, but they make it seem like if you keep watching, you keep supporting, you keep doing this, you're gonna see something. It plays on that mental condition where they have that inability. Basically, it's getting no pussy disease, and you're just sitting there. I'll give you all my money. Exactly, thirsty ass motherfuckers.
Dehydrated.
When Trump originally initiated it when he was in office, yes,
but there was a proposal to ban TikTok before October 7th.
That's from Republicans.
Yeah, and
Democrats
currently Donald Trump is against banning TikTok.
Right.
So
why
is
he wrong?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
It's because after October 7th, there was very limited content pro-Israel or pro-Palestine.
There you have it. A pro-Donald Trump supporter that just said Donald Trump is wrong.
However, seemingly over the course of a single weekend, pro-Palestine content skyrocketed to like 168 million impressions or something.
Okay.
Researchers felt, as I did, and many other of my friends who work in media, that it was indicative of an algorithmic switch.
Yep.
We don't know because we have no access to that information. But it would appear that China made a decision that in the United States, young people should favor Palestine. I don't know or care who they should favor, but I don't think China should be able to make that decision for us.
Manipulate.
We have X, we
I
have
thought
Rumble,
I was a communist
we
when
have
I was in
Gab,
fucking high
we have other
school, and I
platforms.
was like,
These things are hard to break through. We went to war over Twitter and Facebook and
it's
Meta,
actually
and
not
we
that
won that
cool.
war. I don't think of.
You hear that? We went to war over Facebook, Meta, and Twitter, bro. We went to war over these companies. We had them sitting in front of Congress. We had Mark Zuckerberg sitting in front of
Cyber war.
Congress. Like, come on, bro.
I'm so tired. Why is that nipple lopsided on that TikTok? Why is the nipple off to the side?
And you're a leftist. You're allowed to say you're a leftist and promote leftist ideas. If you're conservative, same thing. If you are Chinese, you have no right to distribute those ideas in this country.
That's a fair.
That's
game.
why
English people, British people, all these fucking,
okay.
all these foreigners try to tell us how to run our country. Their words mean nothing to us.
But it's
they
fine
can
if
do
they're
it.
speaking.
Right.
They can.
They're not running
But they can
one of the
do
largest
it.
social
Oh
media
my
platforms
God. You hear
with
this
no
bullshit?
accountability, no
That
transparency.
is so woke. That is so woke. But they can do it. No, they can't. And if they get as big as TikTok, you can ban that.
Imagine trying to
stop it all the
subpoena the
time.
Chinese government. Yeah, see how that's gonna fucking go for you.
I mean, we're not like what Tim said. We're not saying that we can stop every app that gets formed that people are going to join that's from China. But when you get as big as TikTok, shut it down. Shut it down. If you're not willing to show your algorithm and show that you're not up here funneling fucking money to China and creating havoc amongst all the people in our country, then show it. Period.
Transparency.
Yeah.
It's to all of our young people.
They're in a much more grand level
they
than
simultaneously send their children math and science.
Yeah.
So
like that
force
is
them to.
clearly an act of war.
I don't
do you
think
about
so.
that differently? How like they give
don't
their
think
kids
that-
2 hours a day
Or not a thing that ultimately.
I asked you a
Okay,
question.
but I'm just saying a lot.
Give me one reason why TikTok should not divest from China.
Again, I'm not saying that.
We have X, we have Rumble, we have Gab, we have other platforms. These things are hard to break through. We went to war over Twitter and Facebook and Meta, and we won that war. I don't think a foreign country should determine what young people think about foreign policy. I think it should be our duty as Americans to resist the mainstream corporate garbage narratives among ourselves and not have China.
You might be
China's
right,
interest is not helping the Palestinians. China's interest is causing internal conflict so that the Americans rip each other to shreds, and then our young people become morons and our country falls apart.
And that's the
Holy shit,
the
I've never thought
thing
about
that
it like that.
foreign entities
know,
want
bro.
more than anything else. They're not interested.
I mean, it opens your brains, doesn't it?
Like
It
I
does,
thought,
dude.
like I knew that they wanted to like control a narrative, but I never thought about it like
Getting us to
I sound
strike
so
against
stupid.
each other.
yeah.
Well,
That's the control in the brains of our, and this is being done at very young ages. Like the age of a TikToker is like 14 to 17. That's like you're teaching.
I've known it for a while, and that's it. It's a basic thing. If you can't control like how policy works in a different country, you control the people.
Yeah,
you go after the people because, like, I
it
understand. Like,
it would be so hard for them to do without social media.
One person cannot change the entire company. One person cannot change the entirety of the United States. It takes a course over time to implant something in the people to make them think like this is how it should be. And why? Because, oh, this is all I've known all my life.
Right, but I didn't know that they
The inundation is fucking wild, because it's just like, I understand you're free to have your opinion about something, but when you watch one video and all of a sudden everything else that pops up is only that content, that's a problem.
Yeah. And it's only that directed content to that side of political power. It's just geared towards that mindset, and it'll slowly get worse and worse, bad, more and more on your brain. It's tough, bro. The algorithm is bad, man. It really is.
You have Amazon Prime, right?
Yep.
Have you watched the Fallout series?
No.
Yeah.
Watch
That's how I feel every day. Like, I feel like I'm living closer and closer to that.
The mindset they had. So, like, you understand what Fallout is, right?
Yeah, I know what Fallout is.
So it's like it's a divergence from our own timeline where computers didn't really take off. You still use cathode ray tubes for everything. So
I've never seen the show, so I don't know that. But
well,
but I
like the
know,
games and stuff like that. That's the concept. It's like a divergence, right? And the whole main plot line is we are against communism. Buy a spot in the vault so you survive the nuclear fallout. It'll give up the radiation and the communists.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, it's like people have to have their own opinions and things. And you can't make somebody believe something unless you like basically brainwash them.
Yep. Social media can brainwash.
Yeah, but they were already
having
planning
people,
that, though.
like having the majority of America
They
have
were
one-
allowing that safety of like, hey, there is a possibility of the end of the world, right? But that was a combined idea with not just us, but everyone else.
And it was the capitalism of a company who basically, I don't want to spoil the show, but I kind of have to get this point across.
Don't do that.
One particular
watch it
opinion.
now.
They're interested in the strife.
Y'all got me
The
on something
less
now.
unified the United States
On
is, the
Amazon Prime?
more the U.S. is at each other's throats,
It's called
the
Fallout?
better it is for foreign interests.
Yeah,
and
it's Fallout
I don't
on
chaos
Amazon
is the
Prime.
point.
I don't disagree with that, but I would wager that there's a multitude of other companies and
I know, I
industries
played
and
the
media
game
conglomerates
before,
in the
right?
United States that
I
operate in the United States that already do the same thing, of which none of these laws really
Just
apply,
like-
and nothing
if
stops them
if
from
you
doing
played
that.
the games, right? The show is very cathartic because everything that's in the game is basically in the show so far for season 1. And it was a banger for season 1. They had twists, like when you thought you had everything figured out, they threw a twist in there, and they had some. So, like, narratively, it's a pretty good video game adaptation to film. But at the same time, it's like you have to imagine this is based off a video game. This is not things that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. This dude is just giving the basic argument that, okay, let's strip China of it and let's make the algorithm open. What if they do that? Well, they're not. They're not, though, buddy.
Russia today can't promote and can't be in the US.
It should be able to.
So
I don't
what
think
would
they
help
should.
you out?
I
with
liked
this,
RT. I thought it had some good stuff on there.
if you understood how U.S. regulation worked, depending on scale, right, might help you understand. So, for instance, TikTok has an estimated 112 million users.
Okay.
A small app with 10,000 downloads that's from Russia is of no concern to us. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So when it comes to regulation and laws, typically there's a requirement on how many employees you have and how much money you generate.
Yep.
A lot of the laws pertaining to big tech and things around censorship, Section 230 liabilities, have to do with scale. So some of the bills that were passed that we ended up debating over the past few years say the platform must exceed 100 million users. And that's a massive threshold.
Yep.
TikTok is being targeted because of scale. We absolutely isolate large single companies. Take a look at how the U.S. government went after Microsoft. There's a ton of other companies that did the exact same thing Bill Gates did with Internet Explorer, or yeah, I think it was Internet Explorer, and we don't care because they don't have a monopoly. TikTok has a large footprint and has enough power to make young people in this country mentally ill. That is a bad thing. If VK or some other app has a few thousand users, we don't care. Now, if they get to that point where they're so large, they're actually disruptive to the economy. I'll give you another really important point. China controls TikTok. With 112 million people on it, many of these people make a living. TikTok choosing to shut down is causing economic damage to probably several 100,000 people. And that's TikTok choosing to do it, not the US government. TikTok has a choice to divest from China or be off the app stores, still operate. Instead, they said to those 300,000 small businesses that rely on TikTok, fuck you. We will burn you to the ground.
Tim's cussing, y'all. Pay attention. Tim's cussing. Instead of just divest.
Before we divest from China. That sounds to me like a weapon.
Well, it sounds like exactly what I said before, which is that it changes the court of public opinion. It's a negotiating strategy. They're not saying fuck you to those businesses.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
you don't need to shut them down.
Well, then if I say you need to do this, and if you don't hop on one leg and bark like a dog, then I'm not gonna make this thing happen. And you're like, I don't want to do that.
I would consider that a good. I would say a better analogy would be like the king torching the peasants' fields and then blaming the neighboring country, saying they did it.
One of the fundamental arguments you're making is that there's a slippery slope argument, but you've already acknowledged that RT is not allowed in the United States, and it's specifically because it is Russian propaganda or it's state-sponsored propaganda.
Okay.
We don't allow North Korea to have a channel here in the U.S. that's state propaganda. We don't allow other countries to have state-sponsored propaganda broadcast in the United States.
We do. It just depends on scale.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Okay.
We do.
BBC, Al Jazeera, Press One, Xinhua.
Again, and also, what about
Press One's Iran?
What about
Xinhua is China?
Again,
No, I don't think I don't think that you can broadcast in like
They're not on TV.
Yeah. Well,
oh yeah, but I think it's Press One, and their reporters are all over the U.S.
So the point is, there are plenty of platforms that are banned by the United States. So why is and so the argument that it's a slippery slope, it's not a slippery slope. It's like there are some that are and there are some that aren't, and that depends on how much of a threat the United States decides it is.
That's a good point. We do got to go to super chats, but it is a good point that when RT was getting banned, there was no major hubbub or fervor over it.
No one cared.
Well,
and
it wasn't until people's platform was threatened they started defending TikTok.
Yeah, and I think it's fine that the United States says these particular
it wasn't until TikTok was targeted that TikTok people spoke up for TikTok. That's the same thing that happened with the vaping industry, you guys. We didn't get out in front of like the lawmakers' decisions. The lobbying wasn't very good, and that's why the lawmakers decided to do what they did. I mean, that's just the truth. We didn't have very good lobbying. The vaping companies, the Vaping United States Vaping Association, it sucked. It sucked.
Or these particular channels, we think that what they're trying to do is actually a threat to national security, and we're not going to allow them to broadcast here.
We got to go to super chats because we're way late. So smash that like button, share the show, become a member at timcast.com, ladies and gentlemen. If you believe in what we do and you want to change the world alongside us, we need you as members because it's how we operate. So the way I have to describe it, January is usually our biggest month for members. I have no idea why.
All right, y'all. I mean, there you have it. There you have it, y'all. So TikTok is planning to shut its course down itself. I did not know that. I didn't know that.
Before you end the stream, stay on the panel after you end it because I have something to talk to you about.
All right, G. I'm not going to end it yet. I'm going to chit chat with y'all for a minute. I got you. Doggies had to go potty. How do you feel? Are there any creators on here that are making money from TikTok? If there is, and you happen to run into this video, leave it in the comment section. Vapey took a hit making all them flavors marketing to kids. Well, Vapors got in front of. Actually, that's kind of a little bit misinformation, Kevin. Vapors actually got in front of that It actually, that's who had to change that was the vaping companies. Like there were some bad actors, Kevin. Like there were some companies that definitely targeted their vaping products towards children, and it was vaping companies that stood
Fruity
in and
Pebbles.
made those companies change their whole fucking look, and the bad guys kind of got out of it. You know, that's why you see vaping labels the way they are now. And at first, it was bad. It was marketing towards children. We all agree on that. We do. All of the vaping, all the people that had anything to do with vaping and like law making and all that totally agreed on that.
But you shouldn't go as far as to just make it, oh, you have to have tobacco flavor. Like you have to have a strictly like either menthol or tobacco, and that's it. What they were trying to push.
Vaping menthol and tobacco is a flavor, though.
I didn't mean it like.
Yeah, I know. I'm
flavor
just
like
saying.
that. I
I'm
meant
just
it like
saying it open.
boiling it down to like, oh, this is what regular cigarettes are like.
Yeah.
So you have to stick to what regular cigarettes do.
Yeah, but vaping, you can't even replicate a cigarette. That's the whole thing I hate. Like you can't even replicate. The draw's different. The whole taste is different. There's no way you can replicate a fucking Newport. That's just not able to be done. Like there's no way.
Make a
It's better than a cigarette. And it's better than a dip.
I'm for the flavoring. I'm for it. I'm for the flavoring, but marketing it with like you said, Capri Sun label looking things, looking like a fucking Trix box. That shit's stupid. And they did cut an end to that.
Sour apple raspberry.
Yeah, but to make flavorings illegal is just ridiculous. It's totally banned, Ren. Damn, bro. Like vaping took such a fucking hit. I'm so disappointed with our lawmakers with that. And I blame it on their age. I think they're just old. They don't understand the technology, man.
Or you can't go smoke a Camel. What are you, a pussy?
No, dude, it's fucking.
Kevin, I think it was a multitude of things. I think you're right with the labelings too. I think you're on par with it. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I smoke Parliament, so.
Parliament?
Yeah.
You're a baller.
Well,
you're an old man.
Since we have
I'm not that old, okay?
Since we have the lady on panel herself, what about Lucky Strikes, huh?
That's right.
Go back to the Madman era, like
Yeah.
Lucky Strike Gold.
Yeah. Okay. So you're smoking a Lucky Stripe while you're chugging Mad Dog. We get it.
Like maybe you can't replicate a Newport, right? You can get as close as possible to a minty, but you can't get that burn a cigarette has.
No, you can't. That's the one cigarette you cannot mimic is Newports.
You would almost have to like be burning cotton.
I think
to
when you got
replicate
to vaping,
the cigarette feel.
when you got to vaping, I think what hurt vaping the most was when the weed vaping come along into it.
Yeah.
And the vapes, and people died from that.
And
wait, hold on. Are we talking about like THC, or are we talking about the Delta 8 shit?
We're talking about THC, like when they start mixing it with vitamin E, and then them two people died because they had their fucking lungs fill up with fucking
popcorn lungs.
Yeah, they got popcorn.
Wait, where did this happen?
It happened in 2 different states. One happened in Florida and one happened in Michigan, I think.
Well, then you think about like the carts, like how many of those carts are actually fake?
It was carts, yeah. They were taking real carts and then breaking them down and splitting them and then using vitamin E to cut it. And like you can't use vitamin E to you're supposed to use VG. Like it has to be something that you can use. Like they used fucking vitamin E. And then the problem is they should have changed the connection on the vaping itself. Like they should have. I love the 510 connection. It should have been like an 810 connection for a weed cartridge. You know what I mean? Why should it hook up to every other fucking vape in the world?
Because when you change the connection, you change the wattage, you change the amount of power that's put through it. Of course, you'd have to vape it at a lower wattage, but
you can put it on anything.
You have to make it like a specialty item. Like you have to make it like a special. You need like a rig, like Puffco makes rigs for carts
Yeah, I'm
and shit
here
like
for
that.
like making it a different screw-on thing for like buying weed. That would have been the route I would have went, but they didn't, and we're stuck with it like that. They put fucking vaping right along in with smoking now. All right, man. You guys have a good night. I appreciate y'all.
Remember what I said, AD.
Have a good night.
Thanks for having me. This is
No
fun.
problem.
I
Thank you
loved
for
it.
being here, Lucky.
Yeah.
Thank you. Chance, good conversation, bro.
Of
Yes.
course, thank you for having me.
See, Willie. You see, when we don't talk about drama, we can still have a fucking stream without your dumb ass up here. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's actually nice. You know, I can actually use my brain. I can't use my brain when I listen to Willie's shit. You know, I go dumb mode.
Watch Willie shit. Willie shit is basically TikTok for me. It's brain rot.
Yeah, it is very much brain rot.
Oh, thank you guys. I loved hanging out with you guys tonight.
Yeah, definitely, Chance.
If you don't know who Willie is, Willie's a guy that'll email himself and say, "Oh yeah, one of AD's people emailed me. This is what he had to say."
Hey, hold on. Was this 111? 12?
No, I went there on 111-25. I went there. I went to his house.
Yeah.
He called the
Well,
police
and
on me.
that's where you were like, yeah, he's a not excuse me, you did not say this. I'm saying shit. He was faking on the bacon.
Yeah. Yeah, he
What a
called the
fucking
police on me.
Oh, definitely got the bacon.
AD went back and I timed it. It was literally a minute and 35 seconds after you pulled away. They pulled you over.
Yeah, that quick.
Dude, I thought it was a little longer than that.
I never seen the bacon come so fast. Yeah, that was a miracle.
That bacon
Oh, so homeboys in the comments.
Huh?
He tried to earlier twice. That's what he said. That's what he said.
He got kicked out.
He tried to come up on the panel using
he
my
got
dead mom's
banana.
photo, and the name was Hi Son. Like, that's gonna bother me, bro. My mom was dead. She's in there in the urn. I don't care what you say about my mom, you fucking weirdo. You just
See, I
want
don't
my-
understand where he can't understand that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Well, when those words are used to call the police, there's a different story.
Yeah,
I pulled
that's
up
a
on him and he
different
called
story.
the law on me, bro.
A Crip,
Wait, AD,
a self-proclaimed Crip called the police on a white boy from Indiana. Can you imagine?
AD, I want to propose this question then. Okay. Out of it, what's his name? Willie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willie and BBN. Who would you have as like your tag team partner
Jack.
against the other one?
Will, I would definitely take Jack. I would definitely take Jack, bro. I think Jack would have probably come outside if I pulled up on him.
He would have took that ass whooping.
I'd love to see that, but yes.
Because
I think Jack would actually have come outside and tried to get busy.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like fighting a toddler, AD.
He might call the police, but I think Jack would still have come outside to talk shit or something.
Yeah, he wants to show face, at least like kind of like Chance does. He's like, oh,
they said he's the same guy on public assistance, but calls himself Boss Willie. He said Jack would have called too. I believe that. He says he called the cops. I just wouldn't pull up on Jack. And I thought Willie was a Crip gangster.
What would you
street
get out of
dude,
it?
so I wanted to
What
go
would
see.
you get out of it? What, shutting him up? Like he's not worth it.
That's why I'm done making Willie content all the time, bro. That shit come when I'm ready, bro. I'll have fun with that when I want to have fun with it. I
It
do
doesn't.
need it.
It doesn't
I
interest
would
me.
say, I'd
Don't.
say I'm an adult now, but you know what? Just for the satisfaction, it would make me feel better. Just for the soul factor, you know? I hate to be that cringe guy and like quote Mike Tyson, but we've grown up in an era where people have talked too much shit online and have been punched in the face.
I said this earlier. Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face.
Willie Vanilli, the fake fraud phony. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening, man. I appreciate everybody. Y'all, thank you for everything that you do for me. AD is always appreciative of everything y'all do. I will see you again tomorrow, baby. No work.
Me neither.
See you early.
I gon' come with safety. The only time I'm safe is when I'm dangerous. Posted in the 30 with this 30, tryna leave them brainless. We still in the jets, exactly where them boys say we ain't hanging. Put cheese on my head, I come collect that shit. You think I'm playing? Trouble hop out bustin' at it, brother. Miss you know I'm hitting. We got O's and Bo's in here, and we got wood cook in the kitchen. If I say go get them, they go get them. Young boy fingers itching, fingers squeezing on the trigger. They heard all them glitches. Money man, I run it up. If I fall off, I'm poking shit. Told that bitch quit asking questions. I hate all that notice shit. We send shots the whole year round, no ring around the road and shit. My little bro, he makes it vanish. He with hocus pocus shit. Chopper bust, they hit the ground. It's too many sticks around. We known to get greasy, pussy. Don't you have your bitch around? Switch up on this bitch. I catch him deep, get a whole click around. Put us in the midst of shit that we ain't do. We spinning now. Bitch keep trying to tell me slide. Think she trying to set the pick. Other hoes been tripping, texting my bitch on that messy shit. Left a bro out there with his brains out, yeah, that's that messy shit. Bought another Glock, let's catch a op so I can test the bitch.